that information down. And gosh darn it, I need a place to put these things, man. Okay. Wait for some of y'all's to join. Cheers. We got our black coffee. I'm gonna close my door. Hi, Finesse. How are you doing? Let me close the door for a minute. I don't know if you guys hear the TV on the other room. I just heard it, and I don't know if I'm gonna get copyrighted or not. I doubt it because it's just the news, I think, but I don't want to risk it. Hi. Hi, Y. Paul. Hi, Eric Cochran. You're often here first. How you doing? How you doing? Okay, let me share this information here. I was impersonating Alex Jones in the other room, and it made my dad crack up. Good. What's on the agenda tonight? Well, usually we talk about recovery and addiction and stuff at first, but we often veer off the typical, path. Like we talk about anything and everything really, other than just addiction and recovery, because we're more than that. That's why I changed my URL to Tangent T. I was actually thinking about changing it again, but I'm not sure. Actually, Tangent T's not that bad. But I mean, isn't the word tangent kind of associated with being annoying? Kind of like you can't even stay on one topic. Isn't that kind of what that is what that means? But I don't know. It's not that bad. Hi. Tangent T is dope. Well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Seems like a lot of people like that. God, I got something in my eye. Sorry. That's annoying. Okay, let me share my information in case anyone would like to commission me for a painting or support the channel in that way. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. Speaking of which, hi Joseph. Hi. Do you prefer tea over coffee? Actually, I was having coffee right here in the mornings. And it's not the morning, it's like 7 p.m., but sometimes I have an evening coffee. I have 2 cups of coffee, and then throughout the rest of the day, I'll drink tea. It depends on my mood and the time of day and whether or not I've had too much coffee. But if I haven't had either, I'm going to choose coffee. I'm going to choose coffee to get me going. Sometimes it makes me more tired. Sometimes I'll have a cup of black coffee and I'll just fall back to sleep. Alright, let me share that info. How are you doing? Hi, FoDX. Hi, Hoffman. Hi, Ricky. Hi, Surinder Singh. Hi, Justin. Oh, you are awesome and you matter. Thank you. So are you, man. I hope you're all doing well today. Well, thank you. Hey, mid-engine. Joseph. Hi. Stick some Jack in your coffee. I've done that before. When I worked at the cafe, I used to make myself a cappuccino, and I could make really good dry cappuccinos. Often I'd go to before then, when I was in my late teens, I would go to Starbucks sometimes or wherever, whatever coffee I could find just to get a latte. And it was almost like they were trying to disguise their, shitty coffee with too much cream Or well, I'd ask them for a dry cappuccino, and most often they'd give me a super, super wet one, meaning no foam, you know? I'd say extra, extra, extra foam, please. And there'd be like this much foam. And I would never do this now, but back then, once in a while, if I was just like, okay, it's a $5 drink, I want to get what I'm paying for. So I'm like, hey, do you think I could have just a little more foam on that? And just like, well, we'd just be wasting milk. And they sometimes said that before I asked, for a remake, or just like they'd say, well, that wastes milk if I ask them for extra foam. No, it doesn't. You just need to know the right technique, ma'am or sir. What you have to do is, okay, so when you're steaming the milk, you'll get more foam by letting the steam wand skim the surface. You need to be able to hear that hiss the entire time. Okay, so you kind of dip it, you dunk it, and the steam wand into the milk, and then you kind of have to play around with it. But for the most part, so you dunk it first, so it's submerged, and then you have it, skimming above the surface, just touching the surface so you hear a hiss. It's like, and then it rises up, the foam. It's not that difficult. But yeah, I could make cappuccinos with foam this high. And that was my drink of choice, so, had a lot of practice doing it. And not only that, but my foam wasn't didn't have any air bubbles. It was, your cup almost felt heavy with foam. It was thick and velvety, and it was just thick and velvety. It was perfect foam. I knew how to do that pretty well. Yeah. A lot of baristas are lazy as hell, man, about that shit. I don't know, that was my favorite part of the job, other than getting to listen to my regulars gossip and shit. There were some interesting conversations there. But I love, challenging myself to make every drink perfect, and, have people tell me that it was like the best coffee they ever had from time to time. Didn't happen all the time, but once in a while someone would come up and say that they just come in to have my coffee, and that meant a lot to me. I love the idea of, at least this going right in someone's day, just in case the rest of their day isn't that pleasant. At least I can give them a good start with a good cup of coffee, Let's see, put all that in there. Chando sure did love coming to the cafe with me, man. It's the only cafe I know of where you're allowed to have your dog around as the employee, It was very unconventional. First coworker I worked with, he had his dog right there. He was a good boy, but his owner wasn't that nice. He had a big ego. He got jealous of me because someone liked my smoothie more than they liked his. They're like, okay, so when the regular came in, they saw he was about to make them their smoothie, and he's like, could you please, could Ann make it? And I'm like, sure. And my coworker just standing there and he's acting like it's like I did something. Like, why does he, so why does he like yours better than mine? I'm like, I don't know, maybe because I know how to make it the way he likes it. That's what I said, and he got so mad. You want to say that to my face? I just did. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Let's see. Instagram. Yeah. So Anna, you guys would like to check out my art. It's at my Instagram, anna.katrina.art. Okay. Discord is emerald_wing_. 13473. And we're going live. We're going live. Hey, Kenneth. Hey, that's my dad's name. Yep. Oh, why did he get mad at that? People are crazy. Crazy. I don't know, because he thought that I thought I was better than him. Beats me, man. Like, he got mad and started yelling in my face right in front of my customers. We're in this really, really narrow space. It's kind of like where the espresso machine is. We had a huge espresso machine, and then right behind it is, you know what, it is like the window. So it's like this much space where I would be right there, and he's just right there. You know, I mean, you couldn't like have two people, you know, side by side. You know, you had to have a line of people in there, you know, in order to fit anyone, if that makes sense. But yeah, he came up, was like yelling at me because I said, well, maybe I knew how to make his drink the way he liked it. And he's like, I forget exactly what he said, but he got mad and I didn't say anything. I just let him make a fool of himself. I knew that if I were to, you know, talk back to him or anything like that, I'd end up looking dumb or something. But, I don't know. Customers were confused, needless to say. It's like, dude, it's just a... Yeah, I don't know. He was upset because the guy who worked upstairs, he was a regular who'd come down to have his regular smoothie, and apparently he wanted me to make it. So, and the thing is, I knew this guy had a big ego, my coworker. But there's also the fact that he worked there longer than I did. And I just got there basically at that point. Like I probably hadn't been there for a week working, or maybe I had been there a few weeks. But anyway, he got mad. Jealous, yeah, jealous. I think his ego was bruised, for sure. Did I ever play Wonder Boy on Sega? No, and I didn't play much Sega either. I like Sonic the Hedgehog. That's like the only Sega game I've ever played, to be honest. I grew up with Game Boy, Nintendo 64, and PlayStation. And I had a GameCube. Let's see, I feel like I had another game other than that. Game system. Huh. But yeah, the ones I remember, my favorite games were Final Fantasy VII and Xenogears. And Xenogears is still my favorite game. It's really good. I want to play Suikoden. I've heard that's even better, and I've never even played it. I was born in 1991. Lazare. You're, okay. Hey, Gia. Shout out to Gia. Yes, Rory loves Xenogears, yes. That's my favorite game, dude. And yeah, I can't find it on Steam. I wish I knew where I could get it for free. I mean, I've played the game and I've won it a few times, but that's a game I could play again and again and again. I never get bored of it. I love that game. Are you Germany? No, I'm not from Germany. What, does my shirt kind of look like that? I'm American. Yeah. I've got a lot of English in me. Like, I just went from Nintendo to PS2 LOL, and it felt great, yeah. Yeah, I'm a PlayStation person. I like PlayStation the most. I like it more than Nintendo, at least, but Nintendo has some really good games, too. I like Zelda, the Ocarina of Time, and, what other Nintendo games do I like? I like Mario. Luigi's Mansion is a good game. Am I married? No. PS5 so disappointed. Yeah, a lot of people are disappointed with PS5. Not only that, but it's the only PlayStation that has become twice the price. It's gone up in price twice as much, and all the other PlayStations reduced in price that by at least half. So it's kind of weird, like the fact that no one really likes the design. I look at it and I'm thinking, how the fuck do you keep that thing clean? How do you dust it? You know, there are so many weird nooks and crannies that don't need that to me it just looks unnecessary. And not only that, but it's super expensive. Why would they do that if no one even likes it, you know? I have a GameCube, PlayStation 5 original PlayStation that came out in 1994. The original Xbox, PlayStation 2, PS4, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch. I have a Nintendo Switch. I have a Nintendo for us. I'm getting there. Oh, thank you, Explorer. Here, let me. Yeah, I have a Nintendo Switch and a PC. And I just bought a whole bunch of cool games because of the spring sale. Some of those games are like 90% off. Just want to see some. Here's my Nintendo Switch. I have Final Fantasy VII on this thing. Gosh, so those Shando hairs all over it. That's my Switch. I should play this more. It's been a long time since I have. I've got Alien Isolation on this thing. Got a lot of good games. Huh? Oh, I'm from the USA. Hail the Leaf. Your top is lovely. Thank you. Is the Xbox better? I've been thinking of getting a console, but I don't know. Yo, I don't think I've never had an Xbox, and I've never played an Xbox, to be quite honest. My brother got one, but I was just too immersed in what I already had to, I don't know. When did that even come out? I'm gonna guess 2004, because it seemed like I was around, like my like junior high age when that came out, but I'm not sure. Let me see. Maybe earlier. It was more a matter of, not having. I didn't have the money or the resources to get a new system like that. I don't think. I would have loved it though, for sure. Well, I was too busy playing my PlayStation or my GameCube and stuff. And I had, for my GameCube, I had Resident Evil 0. That was my favorite game for GameCube. And I had Metroid. And I had some racing games. I had this, this water ski racing game. That was pretty fun. The water had really good graphics. Let me see. When did Xbox come out? 2013. I was close. 2013. Yeah, it would have been 13. So I was right. I got that. I got that right, even though I really didn't have much of a clue. Yeah, I've Xbox. I've heard really good things about that. I played Alien Isolation on hard, and it felt super easy. I don't know if I was doing something wrong, or if I just had a talent for it. Maybe you just had a talent for it. I don't know, man. But I really love horror games. I like to watch people play horror games too. Almost just as much as I like to play them. It's like a suspenseful thriller. I actually watched, before I even played the game, I watched someone play Alien Isolation from beginning to end with no commentary. It was so much fun, man. The game just went. I just love all the little surprises, especially when you open the door and you don't know what's behind it. So it's fun to watch. I like watching people play games too. When I was like 10, maybe 12, 13, my brother, I used to love it when my brother would let me, come into his room and watch him play games. or play games with him every once in a blue moon. But most of the time, I was just watching him play games, and I loved watching him play Donkey Kong. And I would like give him a shoulder massage while he was playing games. He knew how to do it, man. He knew. It's like, yeah, I'll let you in my room, be my buddy. Hey, are you gonna give me a little shoulder massage? Okay. I don't mind that, as long as I get to be in here and be one of the cool kids, watch you play games. I love Donkey Kong, man. That was one of my first favorite games. Donkey Kong Land 2. Queen, how are you doing, dear? I'm doing good, thank you. You know, I've never played Minecraft. I think it was something about just the style that I wasn't drawn to. But maybe it's a good game. Maybe I should give it a chance. You know, I mean, if it's that popular, it has to be good, right? And I don't just play games because the graphics are pretty. The plot and everything, the game is way more important. That's why Xenogears is still my favorite game, you know? It's from the 90s. It's a beautiful game. Beautiful storytelling. Yeah, I never played in Minecraft. Oh, we got a spammer here. Pac-Man was good. Oh, yeah. I think everyone's played Pac-Man. Most people, at least. Habit, can you do this to make you feel even better? What do you mean, like the little emoji expressions? Oh. I can do some impersonations. Would you ever drop 300 on a pair of jeans? Never. Never, Sergio. I'm gonna save that 300 for something better. Jeans? I've never spent $300 on an article of clothing. Never. Never, not once. I don't get that. Jeans don't last forever, man. Like, and if I spent $300 on jeans, I wouldn't be able to wear them. I'd be too worried about messing them up or ripping them, or you know, a $300 pair of jeans would make me feel like I'm not free to just go about normally. You know, I couldn't eat in them. I couldn't go outside in them. You know, I can't paint in them. Can't make art in them. You know, I can't sit on my butt and play games in them because I'm gonna wear the butt out. I don't know, man. I could not wear a $300 pair of jeans. Hell no. Hell no. The most I'm gonna spend on jeans ever is probably $50 max. And even that is expensive to me. Usually I'll look for them on sale, you know. I try to go thrifting for them, but with jeans it's hard. You know, I'm usually not that successful in finding jeans that fit right. I don't know, oftentimes they're too like wide, but the legs are too tight. Even though I'm skinny as hell, it's hard to find jeans that are comfortable, you know, that fit right. I like Levi's though, and Levi's can, you know, they can be on sale for about $30-$40. It's not that bad. Those last a long time. I said you won't get the Switch, so why you have to switch if you say you don't like? I don't know what you're talking about, man. My Nintendo Switch? And Andrew Tate got arrested finally. Yay! They are accusing him of essay, so how they finally put him away for good. Seriously, they did? Because I haven't been looking up any recent updates on Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate. I'm sure I'm not the first one who's ever said that. No shit. Let me look this up. Yeah, man, I mean, just the fact that he tries to encourage young men to treat their women like slaves, like he encourages people, his audience, to think it's okay to hit women or slap them when they don't cooperate. And he also says that women shouldn't be allowed to leave their houses while they're allowed to go around and sleep around anywhere they want. You know, he's just not a good guy. He's just not a good guy. And I think, you know, I'm sure he's right about some things. I mean, people aren't wrong about every little thing, you know? I'm sure he said some things that are correct, you know, but the majority of the things he says are just freaking whack. He's so crazy. He's I don't know if it's just rage bait or I mean, it's really it really figures that he'd move to a country where it's okay to hit women. It figures. Thank you for the Uncle Alert, Floopy. Thank you. Am I gangsta? You know it. He is a trafficker, allegedly. Yeah. I only say allegedly because YouTube might I don't know. I see other people having to do it, and I kind of, you know, I watch what other people are doing on YouTube, and I kind of abide by that to an extent because I don't want my stuff taken down. Let me see. Let me look up Andrew Tate. He thinks he's in the Matrix, guys. He thinks he's Neo. Andrew Tate. Well. Andrew and Tristan Tate. Who the fuck is Tristan Tate? His brother? My gosh, man. He looks like he's got to think for his own brother. Andrew and Tristan Tate arrested in Miami on charges of grape and sex trafficking. Wowzers, trousers. And this is the Guardian. We got, okay, all the news platforms are covering it. Andrew Tristan Tate arrested in Miami as UK seeks extradition on expanded grape trafficking charges. Manosphere social media influencer brothers nabbed by U.S. Marshals outside bare knuckle boxing event. Yeah, Andrew Tate and his brother. Let's move this over here. Gotta get some glasses. Gotta get my glasses. Papa, I need my glasses. Okay. I always have to wash these. Excuse me. The true justice will be handed out by other prisoners. You're damn right. You're gosh darn right. Absolutely. He's a terrible person. He, you know, he's not a good person. And the things he says about how he thinks we should all treat women is unbelievable, frankly. You know, I mean, when you first hear it, you almost think it's satire, right? Because it's just so over the top. But it is. He literally thinks these things. Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate were arrested Saturday in Miami after U.S. Marshals took the controversial social media influencers into custody on a sealed warrant as British prosecutors announced dozens of new criminal charges and sought their extradition. Today, U.S. Marshals in the Southern District of Florida arrested Andrew and Tristan Tate pursuant to extradition proceedings. A Justice Department spokesperson told Fox News Digital. These arrests were made in accordance with the treaties and law enforcement agreements governing Justice Department extraditions. Okay. Bedfordshire police also confirmed the brothers were arrested Saturday in Miami in connection with a UK police investigation into alleged sexual offenses dating back to 2012. Photos, oh God, that was a good year. Photos and video published by TMZ appeared to show federal agents handcuffing the brothers outside the James L. Knight Center in downtown Miami, where Andrew Tate had been scheduled to appear at a bare-knuckle boxing event. Oh, God. My gosh, man, he really does think he's the man, doesn't he? Doesn't he? Like, no self-respecting woman would want to marry a man like that. Only a woman who, I don't know, it just seems like you'd have to have almost a thing for feeling like an animal all the time, or being treated like an animal, like humiliation rituals, you know, that type of thing, you know. It's like, why do people enjoy being humiliated when that's, like, honestly, public humiliation, from what I hear, is one of is a very common basic fear that most people have. Like, it's, no one likes that. Man, to be with someone who treats me like that, I'd feel like, do I like to be humiliated? Do I like to feel like an animal? Be treated like an animal? That's crazy. That's why the Americas are crazy. Because they care so much, must have said something against you know the rest, huh? Do you like Natalia Reynolds? I honestly don't know who that is. I'm gonna look her up. And pardon me if I don't know who that is. She's an influencer, huh? No wonder I don't know who that is. Oh, she's supposed to be like the prettiest girl in the world? That's what this headline says. Oh no. Okay, I know who she is, bitch. She made some disabled woman jump into a lake and then left her. She could have died, man. That lady. And she got so much shit for it. She and her stupid friends made this, you know, kind of coaxed this lady, this poor disabled woman, into jumping into a lake. She jumps in. They trick her. You know, they treat her so, they're just so nasty, so mean to her. I don't know, just, it's worse than that, man. It's not just outright blatant, it's more like, God, just tricking this lady, deceiving her. Deceptive and cruel. They were cruel to her. They made her jump in there, and they didn't even go to help her. They didn't go back to help her. They just ran off giggling. Oh my gosh, yeah, what a terrible person. For a minute, I thought you were going to refer me to, like, Andrew Tate's girlfriend or something, because we were talking about Andrew Tate. That's crazy. The arrests, okay, so we're continuing on this. The arrests came hours after Britain's Crown Prosecution Service announced it had approved a major expansion of the criminal case against the brothers. Bedfordshire police said the new charges bring the total against the brothers to 59. 59 charges, with Andrew facing 42 charges and Tristan Tate facing 17. It's crazy. It's a lot of charges. According to the CPS, Andrew Tate now faces additional charges, including grape, arranging or facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and offenses involving alleged indecent images of a child and extreme pornography. Wow. It's worse than I thought, fellas. Prosecutors said Tristan Tate also faces additional rape, sexual assault, and trafficking charges. No wonder they moved to, I don't freaking know, some Middle Eastern country. The CPS said the alleged crimes spanned from 2010 to 2017 and involved 4 additional alleged victims, bringing the total number of alleged victims in the UK case to 7. The CPS has requested the extradition of the Tates from the U.S. Malcolm McHaffey, head of the CPS Special Crime Division, said in a statement. They have been arrested and await extradition proceedings to the UK. Good. My gosh, man. What a loon. What a loon. Look at his face. Look at those. It's like he looks like he's trying to kiss something all the time. Look at those lips. Would they get the duck lip treatment? Because I mean, every single time he talks, it almost looks like it. Like he got some duck lip treatment. Like, what the fuck? Kidding. But still, man, I mean, oh. Oh, yeah, watch. Just look at the way he moves his mouth, dude. It's all the time. Dude, it looks like he has a fan blowing in his face on like 1,000,000 miles per hour. Like, seriously. You just look at him and you can just imagine his lips flapping into it. It's so nasty. He looks stupid. The brothers, who hold dual U.S. and British citizenship, rose to fame as manosphere influencers, building millions of followers with content promoting hypermasculinity and male non-monogamy. Yeah, against monogamy. Wow. Yeah, but their wife isn't allowed to practice non-monogamy. Only he can be polygamous, not her. Jeez, they have. Wow. Well, good. Excellent. Yeah, honestly, I think that bitch, Natalie Reynolds, she should be in prison too. Frankly, something should have been done about that. That an example needs to be made out of people like that who do stuff like that. Because if she gets away with that sort of thing, people get away with that sort of thing, then other people are going to start to think it's okay, And I don't agree that we should, like, I don't know. I think something has to be done about all the crime, but I was about to say I agree with Asmongold on, certain approaches he'd take when it comes to breaking down on crime and preventing that. But I think he's just a little too severe, He's a little, I don't know. If it's I think there's an exception, though. If there are people literally ending other innocent people's lives, then I wouldn't be against executing people like that. But it would be kind of rare and far between. It would be more like, people who are an extreme risk to society, people who go around, and especially people who hurt children. Those people, man, it makes me so angry when I'm watching a true crime video, and at the very end, they tell me, like, they tell me, like, what he was charged with, or her, what she or he was charged with, and oftentimes it's just like 6 months of probation, and it could be something just as bad as raping a child, like a teacher raping a child or something, and they only get like probation. That pisses me off so much. And those people, I think, should be in prison for the rest of their lives. Because guess what? That child is never going to be the same for the rest of their life. They're going to have to deal with so much trauma for the rest of their life, and to see them get off almost scot-free pisses, I think, most people off. I think most people would like for them to face accountability and justice. Absolutely. I'm not a leftist, you moron. Leo's a moron. Because he thinks I look like a leftist. Probably because I'm against Grape and Andrew Tate, and you're the kind of person who makes conservatives look bad because you think that stuff's okay and you think that's what the conservative movement's about, don't you? Thank you for the treasure chest. That's really sweet. Oh man, that was a pretty one. But yeah, I lean conservative. Just FYI. He just got arrested. He's a misogynist, pedophile, and rapist. Exactly. Like, it makes conservatives look bad when people like the guy up above act like I'm a leftist for being against that kind of stuff. Like, what the fuck? Most people are against rape and treating women like animals. Why don't you move to Saudi Arabia or someplace? I think you'd probably like it there. You know? Like the Tates. Now, where did Tate even move? I forget exactly what country he moved to, but it figures because they're lying. Allegedly, which we know we don't even have to say that, but allegedly, just for what it's worth, it's okay to treat women like animals there, you know? I think most conservatives are against that. Like, Donald Trump is against that. In fact, conservatives these days, MAGA conservatives, are more like 90s Democrats. You know, Democrats from the 90s. Democrats have completely lost their way, you know? I mean, I'm still preoccupied and concerned with class issues, class warfare, and that's what the left used to be, you know? Now it's all about identity politics. That's all they are now. And whatever they can do to take down Trump. They don't care about the Epstein files as long as they can implicate Trump. If you see them interrogating Les Wexner, they're asking like so many of their questions are just Trump. They're just desperate to implicate Trump. They don't care about the victims. They really don't. They never did. They only care. They see this as the one chance they have to implicate Trump. Did you know, and I just discovered this, I didn't know this before, but I was watching a video about Bohemian Grove and Alex Jones and all claims he's made, things he was right about, things he was wrong about. But he's right about most things. And apparently at Bohemian Grove, it's like this exclusive club for the richest of the rich. It's been around for a long time. Reagan went there, apparently. But they wouldn't let Trump join. They would not let, they excluded Trump from the Bohemian Grove. And it was an all men's club. I didn't know that before. I thought it was men and women who could go there. Like, as long as you're rich, super wealthy. I don't know. Like, powerful. But yeah, they wouldn't let Trump join that for some reason. I'm starting to wonder, yeah, you know what? Maybe they're all just afraid that Trump's going to expose them, because Epstein was afraid that Trump would expose him and he tried to blackmail him. Seems like they're all just afraid that Trump's going to expose them. But I am nervous and, concerned about the fact that I am disappointed how these Epstein files have been handled by Trump and the current administration. I think that they need to get rid of most of the redactions, unless they're just trying only protect the victims. That's it. Release everything else, because we deserve to see it. We deserve to know the truth. We're not fucking stupid. They act like we're stupid, but we're not. Yeah, we deserve to know the truth. Oops. Huh. Well, thank you, Randall. Just rolling live chats, scrolling live chats. Some are way out of left field. You seem pretty normal and chill. Thank you. Some people here think it's okay, the way Andrew Tate behaves and what he does to women, apparently. That's crazy. Yeah, they do. They hurt young girls. They rape young girls. Like, what the fuck? Unbelievable. You also got people who are kind of obsessed with whether I'm trans or not. Guess what? I'm not. If that's gonna help you sleep at night. Jesus Christ. The Iran war was an Epstein cover-up? Yeah, I don't know, man. A lot of this stuff is just, it's hard to know for sure what's true and what's not sometimes. I don't want to jump to any rash conclusions if I'm not certain, but sometimes there's just too many coincidences and too many connections for it to just be brushed off as a conspiracy theory, you know? So many different people interconnected and converging to one issue, like one suspicious cover-up. It's just really weird. I don't know, Chris Max. People keep saying that I am. What does it have to do with anything? I'm responding to the people, you know, going around asking me if I am, or telling me that I am, or telling other people that I am. I'm not. Not that I have anything against trans people per se, but I'm not. Just get over it. Now, I think they're just trying to make me feel bad about my femininity. They're trying to make me, and trying to tell me that I look masculine or whatever. Obviously. How many conspiracy theories have been proven true? A lot. Yeah, Alex Jones is right about a lot of things. Hello, you look great tonight, respectfully. Thank you. I wish our leaders would send help to Canada to help with the fires. Canada did lose a pilot fighting fires in California. Oh, wow, that's true, man. You're right about that. I agree. Don't ever forget Biden-Harris made the human smugglers and drug traffickers billions. Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. They also wanted to make it so that, you know, men could just decide that they're women once they get into prison, so that they can choose to transfer to a female prison. All they'd have to do would be to put on a wig and talk with a insultingly, like, girly voice, and say, I'm a girl because I say so, and then they'll get to go to the female prison. And you look at their records, all these guys who, once they get to prison, they suddenly say they're women, and you look at their records, and it's all SA against women. And Kamala Harris wanted to make that a thing. She wanted to allow for that to happen. Screw women. Who cares about women? Who cares about women's safety? Who cares about women's sports? Unbelievable hypocrites. They don't care about women at all. You're looking better and better every day. Thank you, Mitchell. Yeah, I don't think it's relevant to ask someone her gender only if they're looking for dating, and they subconsciously afraid to like a trans person. But this case, you are legit a female. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And it's weird that people go onto people's live streams looking for a date. This isn't, I mean, the only thing I can really see is that you kind of know who I am and where I'm coming from. You can kind of gauge, like, I'm not, like, holding much back. You know who I am. Well, I don't know who you are, to be honest. I don't know what you look like. You know what I look like. It's, you're able to see me behind the scenes. I'm not able to say who you are behind the scenes. So it doesn't make a very comfortable situation for me. Yeah, this is not the way I'd go about dating. No. And that's not my purpose being here. That's not why I'm here. Now, there are some people who think, probably, and I'm going off of, what I've heard from one person, okay? They implied this heavily, that the reason why I have, that I'm getting more views now is simply because I'm pretty. which to me is a little bit insulting. I didn't think about it in the moment, but then later I thought, there's way more to my channel than just sitting around looking pretty. And there are a lot of women on the internet that do that. Anyone can do that. But people don't necessarily stick around forever if people aren't that interesting. If you have nothing to say, I've seen certain like content creators, influencers, if you will, and I hate that term, by the way, where all they do is try on clothes and makeup. That's all they do. I've seen where people are just, everything about their channel is just superficial. They don't talk about things like art and recovery and addiction and heavy topics, and some often light topics as well. And this is there's more to this channel. Kind of rubbed me the wrong way when someone said that. It was almost like they were trying to berate or make it seem like, oh, so that's why your channel is successful. Yep. It's not that you work hard on it. It's not that, you have anything else to offer. It's all has to be your looks. Not only that, but I guarantee you, it comes from a person who's kind of jealous. And they're like, oh yeah, that's why, okay. It's all because you're pretty. I get it. Okay, that might be one reason why some people stay. I do get a lot of people telling me I'm pretty, right? But that's not all we ever talk about, and I don't talk about that. I just say thanks, guys, and I move on. Yeah, it's weird. And I have a bunch of, some very insecure little small dick men here telling me I look like a man. You on X? I do have an X account. I do. I should share my Twitter account, shouldn't I? Or my X account. I hardly ever go to X though, but I should do that more often. Sometimes I forget, just how free X is compared to what it used to be. I used to never use X when it was Twitter. Now that I made myself another account when Elon Musk took over. You speaking facts. So thank you, Chris. Don't listen to them. You're very handsome. Thank you. You're right. I am a very handsome lady. They said, you would get bullied. Watch your mouth, junkie. Oh, thank you. You look very pretty in your profile right there. I bet you get a lot. Oh, my. I bet you get a lot of, lovely flirtings from the ladies based on how you talk to people. You don't look like a man. With all due respect, you're too beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Gets me so angry. What gets you angry, man? Even guys who are semi-attractive get more views. It's the algorithms. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Huh. Well, I'm learning. You look amazing in your librarian glasses. Oh, thank you. They're just reading glasses. It's to me, it's kind of indicates how the fact that I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. I'm 35. You tell him, sister. Amen. Hi, Saint Benedict. Good to see you. Yeah, I think people get triggered when I, say that I support Trump, When people find out I'm conservative, and then you got those weirdos who just automatically assume I'm liberal, probably because I'm a female or whatever. But it's like they take one look at me and they're like, oh, liberal. And I'm like, joke's on you. And oftentimes I take two of my MAGA hats and I put them on at the same time. You want to see a cute shirt I have? And I also have another shirt that has a print of that fight moment where when Trump got that, almost ended, almost assassinated by someone, by that furry. I think these guys telling me I look like a guy, they're all very insecure because I probably have a stronger jawline than they do. And they probably have tiny pimmel. That's right. Want to... Aw. I just need one hat. Well, you're right, but, sometimes I do that to drive my point home. Delusional woman. Can you tell me how I'm delusional? Are there any points that you'd like to make rather than just throwing insults? Because that's really all you guys ever do. You're gonna assume I watch Fox News when I never do? I get a lot of my news from like podcasts, podcasters. I like Nick Shirley. I like Nick Shirley a lot. I like Asmongold. I like Blair White. I like. I could list a few, but those would be my top 3 so far. Could probably name a few others, but yeah, I like those 3. So far, so good. Oh yeah, I like Brett Cooper. I used to like Megyn Kelly. I'm not so sure about her anymore. Yeah, I like to watch Joe Rogan, but I don't think he's as good as he used to be. I don't know. Hey, Dells. Very attractive personality. Oh, thank you, strange Google Maps. Shit, how are you doing? The internet is full of pervs. It sure is, man. It sure is. You're right about that. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Amen. What's your thoughts on the Kirk guy assassination? I think it's horrible. I used to watch Charlie Kirk all the time. I loved Charlie Kirk. And people lied about him constantly after he passed. And when he was alive, too. You had people really trying to implicate him in things where, like, for instance, there was this moment where he's debating this young woman at this college, and she purposefully, she has her arms like this, and she purposely goes like something like that, and she makes her shirt go all the way down, and her boob pops out. And she's obviously trying to make him, act in ways that are against his best interests. She's trying to make it so that he looks like a perv. She's trying to make it so that he looks, oh, white men bad. But he did not divert his gaze from her, or his focus from her eyes, not even once. So she lost, and he won. But that's very, they really tried to make him out to be something he wasn't. He had a lot of people on the left dancing on his grave. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. And the way they're treating his wife is just horrendous. Horrendous. And I don't like Candace Owens, in case anyone's wondering. I don't trust her one bit. I think honestly, I'm under the impression that she was jealous of their relationship and was resentful that she didn't get to have more power by being associated with Charlie Kirk. If she would have been in Erica Kirk's place, she would be way more powerful. And I think that she's super angry about that, resentful. Imagine a world when we can see each other in the eyes because you weren't siding with my views. Okay. It's only a smoke show to keep us divided. Yeah, I agree. The only thing they want is to make the rich richer and the poor poorer. You're right about that, Eric. I agree 100%. That's what Bohemian Grove is all for, They get together and they plan out how they're going to rig the economy and make us all or divide us and make us all distracted. Yeah, it's terrible. It's been a setup for years. It's been rigged for years. We call him Ma'am Dummy here. That's right. That's right. My eyes are my boobs. Keep staring. I don't care how you look. I care what's between your ears. What makes you completely irrelevant is your double stare and try reading humanist. I don't have to invent anything about Kirk. Let him talk. Okay. Well, now you're just making stuff up about me, buddy. No, I've always said I've been disappointed in how Trump has handled the Epstein files. I have my criticisms. I'm not like a ride or die, and I'm not far conservative. I'm like more, I lean conservative, but I'm kind of more towards the middle a little bit. You know, I'm not like extremist in any sense, but I do lean more conservative quite a bit, and I used to be liberal for about a decade before this. Honestly, I was disillusioned. I realized that here's the thing: I had I had a few conservative friends when I was liberal, and they never mistreated me. We always had good intellectual conversations. They were insightful. You know, I could agree to disagree, and we'd be cool. When I said, you know, and then I was addicted to heroin for like 6 years for a while. And then I got clean. And when I got clean, my faith came back to me. And also I began to think more about just like the things that I so readily believe in based on fear. Like, I'm afraid of losing my friends. I'm afraid of losing my family. It's like, I started to wonder, why does everyone hate Trump so much? When there's so many people who are way more deserving of that type of condemnation, like the Clintons. Like, why does Trump get so much? Also, I looked into it, like, why is it that, like, people like Whoopi Goldberg and people, you know, celebrities used to love Trump. Now they hate him. Could it be that they're worried about getting exposed now that he's president? I was like wondering, like, I looked into Trump derangement syndrome, and like, why are people still repeating all these lies about him that have been debunked a million times? So I'm like, you know, I think I have Trump derangement syndrome. I looked into this and I thought, you know, I was wrong about a whole bunch of stuff. And the reason why I held on to those beliefs was because everyone else around me believed those things. And I was worried that I'd be the crazy one and that I'd lose friends and family. I had a family member who went around interrogating every person in my family, and if you didn't say anything, if you chose to be silent, she would take that as a sign of admission to guilt, and she like, we're guilty about it, and then she'd just completely block us, completely cancel us, family member. So wow, you know, as soon as I said I think I have Trump derangement syndrome, I was hated by and blocked and canceled and slandered and treated like absolute shit by all the people who claim to be my friends, like liberals. Even when I was liberal, I was never treated that way by a conservative, not once. Not once. Well, thank you. I can't even turn on the TV without watching the president getting called out by a network or a politician about some nonsense. Yeah. And the fact that people don't even question this stuff it's crazy. It's crazy. It really is a reflection of how we've kind of been, we don't think critically enough. And I feel like that's probably what their intention was to have us not think critically, to have us so emotionally distracted and against each other that we can't, you know, sort things out and find the clues and determine what's really going on. Like, you know, destroying our education system and all of that. I mean, it all kind of makes sense. You know, keep us stupid and ignorant so we don't know what the hell is going on. What is on my walls? I got dolls on my walls. Well, Trump is better than Kamala Harris. The only thing about Trump I'm disappointed in is the whole Epstein file situation. You know, I feel like if he were to just, and some of the people he works with are pretty guilty. I think he should get rid of them. Like, I honestly, I do not like, what's his name again? Nick Fuentes. I don't, there are a lot of things, but there's some things he says that are true. And he was saying that, like, if Trump would just release the files without the redactions and get rid of the people, you know, working under him who are implicated in those files, if he were to do all that, his approval rating would skyrocket overnight, and people would, like, people would be able to forgive him. But at least, you know, the conservatives who are disappointed in the fact that he promised these Epstein files, and yet he's treating them like it's a joke. And that's pissing me off, you know. But he is focusing on very important things. He's focusing on keeping our borders safe, you know. He's focusing on preventing Iran from having nuclear weapons and harming the West. You know, there are a lot of very important things he's working on. So I'm kind of clinging to hope, but I do not like how the Epstein files are going so far. That's the only thing. But I think he is still a much better choice than Kamala, because we'd be living in a communist nation under her, and you'd have people allowed to R-word women all over the place, just like in the UK. So there's that. I mean, it's way better than it would be if Kamala were president. So I don't regret choosing, you know, voting for Trump. I'm just a little disappointed in how the Epstein files are going. That's all. Yeah, exactly. The reason why he can't do certain things is, yeah, because he has people around him preventing him from doing that. Absolutely. He's, you know, the president is like never the sole one with all the power. You know, there's all these, you know, other blockades and you know, people he has to deal with, get through and all that, to get things through and all that. Congress has the power to put Trump in jail. He simply has to not really make Congress mad. If we assume Trump's intentions are good, then Congress is the reason he can't do certain things. Yeah. Exactly. And it's always the Democrats. And I am disappointed that there weren't many Republicans if any, at like Les Wexner's trial, if I'm not mistaken. But if you heard like that, if you watched that trial and you saw like the questions that Les Wexner was being asked, you'd be like, all those questions were about Trump. Just about most of them were about Trump. And you'll see that the only reason why all those Democrats are there, the only reason why the Democrats care about the Epstein files at all, is so they can implicate Trump. They don't give one single rat's ass about the victims. They don't. Absolutely not, they don't. They only care about it as far as it can implicate Trump. And that's 100% the case. Everybody knows it. Yeah, Trump tried to expose all this shit a long time ago before it was mainstream. And then they tried to blackmail him. That's all in the files, too. I mean, for all I know, he could be guilty of something. I don't know. It's all pretty suspicious. But there's no proof whatsoever that Trump went to the island or did any of the things you are accusing him of. Yeah. Yeah, the Rothschilds. Ugh. Yeah. Epstein, Soros, Litnick, Schumer, Sanders, Rothschild, OAC, Mamdani, Mayorkas, Schaubern, Federal Reserve, YouTube, Facebook, ChatGPT, TikTok, MSNBC, CNN, yeah. A lot of people are implicated in this. Who's contradicting themselves? I didn't contradict myself once. It's funny, like, you're just because you have a few criticisms, you don't have, just because you support like a president doesn't mean you have to agree with everything they say. That's not self-contradictory. That's having integrity and someone who's able to think for themselves rather than just being right or die with whoever, My side, your side. No, it's like, I don't care what you think, you know? I go by what I'm seeing. And there are things I agree with and things I disagree with, I support Trump because he is absolutely the lesser of two evils. And I think that if not for him, I don't even think we would have the Epstein files out yet, or at all, ever, if Kamala won. There may be a tactic or a system in place to just make this all a little bit more, less dangerous, because there is like national security and like CIA shit involved. I don't know I don't think any of us will know the full story, unfortunately. Yeah. Yep, exactly. If Trump was implicated in the Epstein files and his team is covering it up, you would never know. It's all hidden for a reason. You're right about that. Absolutely. I honestly, at this point, I see Trump as like more of a means to a better ends. Like, I'd vote for Marco Rubio above anyone else. And I hope Marco Rubio wins. He seems like an honest guy. He doesn't even I don't even know if he reads a teleprompter. I think he just says it like it is. He just speaks from the heart and mind. He's honest. I think he's honest. Yeah, Marco Rubio rocks. I agree with you on Rubio. He's a good man. He is. I like him. I like him more than Trump. Honestly. I think that Trump walked so that Rubio could run. No joke, though. Wowzers. Yeah, I think they should bring in the National Guard to take care of all these criminals who are actually killing people. I do. I like Rubio. I didn't say Rubio was trash. I said I'd vote for him. What do you mean, Mike? I like Rubio. I said I'd vote for Rubio next election. Absolutely, 100%. I think a lot of people would. A lot of people like Rubio even more than they like Vance. You see things from a very eloquently perspective. Oh, thank you, Chris. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's some places where they don't, call in the National Guard, at least not fast enough. Yeah, I like Rubio more than Vance too. I'd definitely vote for him. Thank you for the 6-7, man. Yep. Marco Rubio rocks. At first he kind of, sometimes I see these politicians, especially like the royal family, and I just imagine cartoon characters. I imagine them as like Disney-esque animal cartoon characters, because they kind of look like it, especially like Prince Charles looks like a cartoon character. And I used to think Marco Rubio kind of reminds me of I love Marco Rubio, okay? But back then, the first impression I got was like Boo Boo from Yogi Bear. Oh, that's just terrible. That's just terrible. No, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's a strong, principled leader, I think. I think he's very principled. I'm gonna open my door though. I think Shanda wants in. One sec. Hee hee. Hey baby, come on in. Come in. Be part of the club. Let's go. Let's get it to 200 likes, everyone. Marco Rubio. Yep, you look amazing. Have you been exercising? And I walk a lot. I just walk a lot. And I carry heavy things a lot. I don't wear this outfit very often. But yeah, I haven't I think I have more muscle, maybe. I walk a lot. Yeah, wow. Mark Rubio tried to run in the past. Yeah, he did. That was pretty amusing back in 2016. Little Marco, I know. I wonder how tall he is. I'm gonna guess he's my height. I'm gonna guess he's 5'7". That's just a guess. Let's see. Marco Rubio's height. He seemed like he was the shortest one at the podium. Let me see. Yeah. 5'9". Okay, he's way taller than I thought. That must mean they're all really tall. Do you ever notice that? Like, often presidents are pretty tall. You know, they often the tall. Shout out to people who are a little on the short side. You know, you're all cool cats. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But do you ever notice that like all the presidents are pretty tall? Huh. I guess there's kind of like, it's not like short people can't be leaders, right? But there's this almost, I think that most people, whether they want to acknowledge it or not, whether they realize it or not, they kind of perceive tallness or just towering above as being, you know, synonymous with capable leadership, it seems. Doesn't mean it's right, you know, but I wonder what Trump's height is. I mean, he just seems so much taller than Marco Rubio, but 5'9", really, that's the average height of the American man, I think, is 5'9". He's 6'3", yeah, so it's like no wonder he makes him look like he's about my height. I was gonna guess that Marco Rubio was 5'7", honestly, but yeah, he's not. Wow. Yeah, J.D. Vance is 6'2", 6'3". Yeah, a lot of them are really tall. Like George Washington was like 6'1", I think. And back then, in the 1700s, that was like a giant. I think most men back then, like the average height was like what, 5'4", 5'5", or something. George Washington's height, and also like Abraham Lincoln looked really tall. George Washington's height, he's he was 6'2". Back then, that was really tall. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, so the average man in the 18th century typically stood at around 5'6". Okay, so just an inch taller than I thought. 5'6" to 5'8" that was the average height for a man. So around my height would be the average height for a man in the 18th century. So I'm guessing the average height for a woman. Let me look. I'm gonna guess 5'1" or 5'2". Yeah, between 5'1" and 5'3" would be my guess. For woman in 18th century. The average height, yeah, okay. The average height for a woman in the 18th century ranged between 5 foot and 5'2". Very short. I would have been a giant to those women. I would have been as tall as the men. That's crazy. Would you? Wow. Heights varied significantly depending on geographical location. Yeah, same. I mean, same today. Like in places like Holland, the average height for a woman is my height. It's like 5'7", and men are on average like 6'1" or 2. People are shorter in America than some like Scandinavian countries as well. Let's see. Yeah, it varies depending on geographical location. Quiet! And social class, with upper class women and American colonists generally tending to be taller. Okay, upper class and American colonists were generally taller due to better access to protein and to nutrition. Yeah, today's global average for male height is 5'9". Hi. Oh, there's someone coming in the house. I don't know what it is. Now, guys, we're gonna live stream until like maybe 9 o'clock. We'll see. Maybe a little longer. We'll see. Oh yeah, my parents gave me my height. You're right about that. My dad's 6 foot. I think my dad's like 6'1". I think it might be 6 foot now though, because we shrink as we age. And my mom used to be like 5'9". My mom was really tall for a girl. I think she might have been 5'10" at one point, if I'm not mistaken. But actually, I'd guess 5'9". She's 5'9". She's like she became like 5'7" or 5'8". She got to more my height because of the scoliosis. Yeah, if your spine gets messed up, that combined with aging can definitely reduce your height quite a bit. How tall am I? I'm 5'7". I'm 5'7". Holland is about 6'2". Yeah, average height for a guy. Pretty tall people. They're like the tallest people in the world, I think. Let me look that up too. Look up the tall. Who are the tallest people? I think it might be a different place actually. I think maybe it used to be Holland, but they discovered it was a different place. Let me see. Oops. So, okay. Who are the tallest people in the world? The tallest living person in the world. Oh, that's tallest living person. Well, we'll just say the tallest living person in the world is Sultan Kosin from Turkey, who stands at 8'2". The tallest person in recorded history was Robert Wadlow of the United States, who reached a staggering 8'11", almost 9 feet, guys, before his death in 1940. And I think I remember how he passed away. He got like a foot infection or something, I think. Robert Wadlow. Anyway, I was looking for like who are the tallest people in the world. How about tallest countries? The Netherlands. I was about to say. The Netherlands is the tallest nation in the world with an average human height of about 6 feet for men and 5'7" for women. Yeah, I was pretty much on the nail right there. Following closely behind the Dutch are Montenegro, Bosnia, and Herzegovina, and Estonia. The extraordinary stature in the Netherlands is widely attributed to a mix of optimal environmental conditions. I wonder what those environmental conditions are. Universal health care, high dairy consumption. That was my guess, high dairy consumption. And genetics. Yeah. Well, yeah, genetics and high dairy consumption were my guesses. Yeah. Tallest countries in the world. Netherlands. I can't read this because it's all blurry. Iceland has some of the tallest people, and Germany as well. Hmm. So seems like a lot of tall, blonde, blue-eyed people. Wow. Saskatchewan giant? Okay. How do you spell that? Okay, Saskatchewan. Okay. Saskatchewan. And it's been a while since I've been here. You're really looking well. How are things? Hey, Nick. I'm doing good. Thanks. How are you doing? The talk and the talk and walk and the walk. So, you are likely referring to Edouard Beaupré. Beaupré. I probably butchered that pronunciation. Known as the Willow Bunch Giant. Born in Saskatchewan in 1881, he was the tallest recorded Canadian in history at 8 foot 3 inches. He toured as a strongman and circus performer before tragically dying of tuberculosis in 1904. Sometimes I have a hard time pronouncing things. Due to his size, he couldn't ride horses, so he supported himself in the circus, bending iron bars and wrestling. Now, man, life must have been really tough for him. He outgrew his parents by age 9 and was 6'6" tall by age 11. Imagine that, guys. Imagine seeing a literal child towering over you at like 6'6". That would be kind of freaky. Poor kid. Oh, we were just talking about the Willow Bunch Giant. Talking about people's height. The tallest people in the world. Talking about how, like, seems like all the presidents are really tall. Let's see who the shortest president in history is. Who was the shortest president of the United States? Okay. James Madison was the shortest U.S. president in history, standing at 5'4". That's pretty short. He's about as tall as Michael J. Fox. If you meant the president who served the shortest amount of time, that was William Henry Harrison, who died just 31 days after his inauguration in 1841. Okay. Let's see, how tall was Abraham Lincoln? He looks super tall. He looks like he towered above everyone. How tall was Abraham Lincoln with his hat is one of the search engine questions. Abraham Lincoln stood 6'4", yeah. I have people in my family who are that tall. Yeah. Teddy Roosevelt was one of my favorite presidents, so he's a good one, absolutely. Do you remember the little guy from Austin Powers? You mean like the mini-me? I think he was the shortest at the time, and today is Kevin Hart. How tall is Kevin Hart? I'm gonna guess he's like 5'2". Actually, I'm gonna guess he's 5'4". Between 5'2" and 5'4". Let's see. I can only guess one. 5'3". Kevin Hart height. First thing in the search engine. Yeah, he's 5'5" actually. Okay. It's still really short. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I don't know if I should be a history teacher, but maybe art history. I can geek out about art history, but I don't think I'm that good with like remembering dates, you know? And there's, I don't know, there's certain aspects of history that just bore me to tears, you know? Like, I honestly do find, like, a lot of, I used to think American history was more boring than I do now. I guess it seems more relevant to me now, to my interests. But, I don't know. I found that, I learn history a lot better through art history. I love art history. I learned so much about like the French Revolution through art history because so much artwork came out of the tragedy of war, you know. Am I seeing? American history is pretty short though, 250 years only. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Did you know? I think Jack Black's mother was like a rocket scientist. There are a lot of very, very high IQ, intelligent women. So, to that guy who's saying that, like, men are the smartest, strong. Of course, you guys are the strongest, but you're not the smartest. That's 50-50, you know? Of course, we all have different interests. That doesn't mean that one is smarter than the other. You know, there are a lot of women who work for NASA and a lot of women who got men on the moon. You know, women who build computers and stuff like that. And that's not the only type of intelligence out there, by the way. And then you have really moronic, stupid men. How do you account for those people? You have stupid men and stupid women, and you have intelligent men and intelligent women. It's not intelligence isn't a gender-based thing, you dipshit. I'm referring to Samio's comment. You're not the best and you're not the smartest. Some men and some women are the best and the smartest. But some men and some women are also the dumbest and the worst. And, Andrew Tate is definitely in the headlines. Andrew Tate and brother Tristan Tate arrested on rape and sex trafficking charges, deny accusations. Of course they do, even though it's pretty freaking obvious. They've been charged on like 50 counts or something like that. Now let's see, I wanted to show you guys. What about Hedy Lamarr? The person who her inventions led to what we now call Wi-Fi. You know, you have really low IQ people who literally do think that being attractive and intelligent are mutually exclusive. But I guess that doesn't apply to men for those people. Only women can either be intelligent or attractive. Stupid. Yeah, she worked for Apollo, Jack Black's mom. Actor Jack Black's mother was Judith Love Cohen, an incredible aerospace engineer who played a vital role in the Apollo program. She co-designed the Abort Guidance System, AGS, that allowed the Apollo 13 astronauts to safely return to Earth. Amazingly, she solved a complex engineering problem from her hospital bed while in labor. You see how awesome women are? I'm going to repeat that. She co-designed the Abort, and I'm not a modern feminist, guys. Don't jump off the deep end thinking that. I'm just speaking facts here. She co-designed the Abort Guidance System that allowed the Apollo 13 astronauts to safely return to Earth. Amazingly, she solved a complex engineering problem from her hospital bed while in labor, just hours before giving birth to Jack Black. That makes me like Jack Black even more too. I like Jack Black. I always liked Jack Black. Kind of reminds me of my big brother a little bit. If my big brother were any celebrity, I think he'd be Jack Black. And that's a compliment. I'm not calling my brother fat or anything. I'm just saying his personality is kind of reminds me of him. Always has. I remember that movie, Shallow Hal. It was a good movie. I don't think that movie would fly these days, but that's because people are kind of cuckoo. Yeah, a little too sensitive. And I'm a sensitive person saying that. Yeah, that's Jack Black's mother. You need any more proof? That's Jack Black's mother. And she's pretty too. Judith Love Cohen helped create the abort guidance system which rescued the Apollo 13 astronauts. Went to work on the day she was in labor. She took a printout of a problem she was working on to the hospital. She called her boss and said she finished the problem and gave birth to Jack Black. Man. There's an accomplished woman right there. Dang name. Wow. Now, there are a lot of women who helped with the moon landing. Katherine Johnson is the most famous woman associated with the Apollo moon missions. As a brilliant NASA mathematician, a human computer, she calculated the trajectory for the Apollo 11 mission and ensured the astronauts could safely travel to the moon and return home. She calculated all this. She was so accurate, in fact, guys, that they would go to her to confirm that their computers were correct, that the information they had or their calculations from their computers were correct. They went to her to confirm that everything was good. Wow. While Johnson is the most widely celebrated figure, made famous by the book and film Hidden Figures, I've never seen it. Several other women also played indispensable roles in the success of the Apollo program. Margaret Hamilton, a pioneering computer scientist who directed the software engineering division at the MIT Instrumentation Laboratory. She led the team that developed the critical onboard flight software used for Apollo's navigation and lunar landing. Then there's Frances Poppy Northcutt, a return to Earth specialist and the first female engineer to work in NASA's Mission Control in Houston. Joanne Morgan, the first and only female engineer in the Apollo 11 Mission Control firing room during the historic 1969 launch. Dorothy Vaughan and Mary Jackson, groundbreaking mathematicians and engineers who paved the way for diversity in aerospace, with Vaughan managing the West Area Computing Unit and Jackson becoming NASA's first black female engineer. That's right. Yeah, I wish I was that smart. Yeah, a lot of things created by men, a lot of things created by women. Why are you trying to pit them against each other? Why are you trying to degrade women? Women aren't less intelligent than men, you fucking dumbass. You know? There are a lot of women, like... Also, let's see what Hedy Lamarr... She's also known as being the most beautiful woman that ever lived. By the way. But that's definitely not her only credential. She's responsible for why we have Wi-Fi. See, she was drop dead gorgeous, for one thing. And that is, like, not her most... some people act like that's like an accomplishment. People are just born that the way they are. She's lucky, but she's also so let's see. Regarded as a successful film star, she also co-invented a radio guidance system during World War II. At the beginning of World War II, along with composer George Antheil, Lamar co-invented a radio guidance system for Allied torpedoes that used spread spectrum and frequency hopping technology to defeat the threat of radio jamming by Axis powers. This approach, conceptualized as a secret communication system, was intended to provide secure, jam-resistant communication for weapon guidance by spreading the signal across multiple frequencies. Similar technology was used in operational systems only beginning in 1962, which was well after World War II and 3 years after the expiry of the Lamar Antheil patent. Frequency hopping, which existed and was utilized before the Lamar Antheil patent, is a foundational technology to spread spectrum communications. Its principles are utilized for secure wireless networking, including Bluetooth and early versions of Wi-Fi, which use variants of spread spectrum to protect data from interception and interference. She died at the age of 85 in 2000. The most beautiful woman in the world was also the most intelligent. One of the most intelligent, not the most intelligent, but one of the most intelligent, I would say. Wow. Crazy, huh? So, someone said that only men invented the internet. I looked this up. Yes, several women played crucial roles in inventing and developing the technologies that make up the internet. From laying the wireless foundation to building the protocols that make modern networks scalable and functional. Key female pioneers include, get ready, Radia Perlman, often referred to as the mother of the internet. She invented the Spanning Tree Protocol, STP. Her algorithm allowed Ethernet to handle massive scalable networks, which is the foundational code that connects modern local area networks. Then there's Marian Croak, a visionary engineer who holds over 200 patents. She revolutionized telecommunications by pioneering voice over internet protocol. This technology allows voice calls to be transmitted over the internet, which powers modern apps like Zoom, WhatsApp, and Skype. Elizabeth Jake Fiendler, as the director of the Network Information Center for ARPANET, ARPANET, the precursor to the internet. She created the first directory of people and databases. Wow. Her team created the initial system that evolved into today's internet domain and managed the early host tables. Hedy Lamarr, who I just mentioned, a Hollywood actress who is also an inventor. During World War II, she co-invented a frequency hopping spread spectrum radio system. While originally designed to guide torpedoes securely, this concept laid the technological groundwork for wireless technologies like Wi-Fi, GPS, and Bluetooth. Judy Estrin, an influential computer scientist who helped shape early internet architecture by working closely with pioneers on TCP/IP, the foundational communication protocols of the internet, and co-founding Bridge Communications in 1981. So, somewhere around 8-something plus women helped contribute to the creation of the internet. Nothing serious. Nothing serious. We all know based on this guy up here that it was all men, and those women are probably just fake news, according to that guy. Stupid. Yep, I win. I win. I win. And I'm not even, dude. It's just the truth, you know. I respect myself enough to, say it like it is. I mean, it's insulting, for people to say stuff like that. Women have contributed a lot to technology and good things in society. We're not all solely responsible. I mean, I don't claim those like liberal white women out there trying to make communism a thing, And it's not only women out there, but there are a hell of a lot of white women out there protesting and shit. Honestly, I'm starting to think that all those protests where they just all suddenly, they're that incident where an ICE agent almost got run over by some illegal migrant, or I'm not sure exactly who tried to run him over, but some guy tried to run over an ICE agent and he got shot because he was an immediate threat. And then a whole bunch of protesters just come out of the freaking woodwork, just out of the clear blue. And I'm starting to think that these protesters are assigned there, that it's organized by some higher up, that they're not, I don't think that they're just regular people, deciding to come out of their houses and protest. I think that it's very well organized, that they know what they're doing, and they're doing it to try to, I'm starting to think that they sacrifice people. They, like this guy who got shot, they have their people go out there, cause havoc, threaten the cops, and then they end up being sacrificed, and then they can have all the protesters come out to try to make ICE look bad. I think it's all a setup. I'll just say allegedly for YouTube's sake, but I do think it's kind of a setup. Conservative women are strong. You're right about that, Mark. Thank you. Yeah, I've learned a lot over the years. I'm glad that my integrity mattered more than my fake friends. But yeah, I mean, just saying it like it is, Someone's in the comments is gonna say that like basically that men are more intelligent than women. It's like, yeah, there's very smart men, but there's also very smart women too who are responsible for why we have such advanced technology. Only men created the internet. Like, dude, did you ever do your research? Or do you just not care about looking like an idiot? Because that was so easy for me to just Google that and see like which women contributed to the internet. Oh, I didn't even know the list was that long, considering the time period where it, not only that, but it was so hard for women to get into those spaces. And oftentimes women signed their names anonymously because men would take their work from them or try to control them, Like, I heard there was this issue with Rosalind Franklin. Wasn't she responsible for discovering the DNA helix? Wasn't she? And then some guy tried to steal that work from her. That was very common. And Virginia Woolf herself was the one who said that if any book or anything was signed anonymous, it was a woman who signed that. Women signed things anonymously all the time just so they could get their accomplishments out there. But these women were they stood out, man. They really they were a big part of why we have the internet, or why we were able to get men on the moon and all that. It's amazing. It should be appreciated, Why that seems to threaten certain guys is beyond me, If I were a guy, I'd be attracted to that. But that's coming from a woman here who I am attracted to smart men, you know? I like intelligent men. If I were a guy, I'd like intelligent women. You're looking so fit. Thank you. Oops. Men only exist because of women? Well, that's the thing. I don't think you really can have one without the other. I mean, we need each other. We're like yin and yang, you know? It's the one thing I really hate about modern feminism, it unironically puts women down, you know? It makes feminine traits out to be weak and bad, and like we gotta be like men, but at the same time we gotta hate men. Like that doesn't compute. That does not make any sense. There's no logic to that, you know? It's like, why can't we be proud in our femininity, you know? Without having to be all vindictive, and you know, it's like, that's the way people want to do it these days. It's like, oh, you mistreated me before, now I'm gonna mistreat you. It's like, no, it doesn't have to be that way. We're not responsible for the actions of our ancestors, you know? That's not gonna make the world a better place. It's just gonna breed more resentment. It's gonna breed more division. It's gonna make us all hate each other. It's gonna, you know, that's why we have like the fatigue, you know? There's, careful with my wording, but there's fatigue, if you know what I mean. With all the victim, like, self-victimization, constantly, you know, making all these labels your personality. You know, I mean, hopefully this will stop being popular where people on their Instagram or Facebook or whatever, they have all their little pronouns and all their disabilities listed. People pretending to have Tourette's and shit. It's ridiculous. Huh. Does Ethan Klein have Tourette's, by the way? I watch Ethan Klein sometimes, and I notice, like, he does this little thing where he's just like, you know, like, he does this weird thing. Let me just look it up. Let me see. Does he have Tourette's? I like Ethan Klein. I like him. Ooh. Man. I wonder if Hollywood liked Sydney Sweeney, which they hate Sydney Sweeney because they have Trump derangement syndrome, obviously. And if they try to get you to, you know, reveal whether what you stand on or whether you're left or right, and you don't say anything, then they just assume that you're conservative. I think they hate Sydney. I just saw a picture of Sydney Sweeney. I think they hate her because she's probably a Trump supporter, I think. I'm not sure. But I think that if they liked her and appreciated her, they'd probably insure her rack for like $50 million. She has such a nice rack, dude. Man. Doesn't she have a nice rack? And I'm not even gay. I know Mariah Carey's legs are like insured for millions of dollars or something like that. That's crazy how they can do that. I got so distracted by that picture that I forgot what I was going to look up. Thank you. Hi, what's my name? My name is Anne. How are you doing, Melody? Do I have abs muscle? Yeah, but I feel like I'm losing my ab muscle because I don't walk as much as I used to when I was, you know. I mean, Shando and I go walking just about every day, but I used to move a lot more. Now I play video games a lot. I better get up and start moving. I have some weights though. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of, I'm kind of scrawny. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Atreos. Well, thank you. Yeah, they're just reading glasses. Makes it easier to read the chat, that's for sure. My eyes used to be perfect. Now I'm getting old, man. How tall? I'm 5'7". 2 inches taller than your guess. 5'7". Okay. There's some whistle for you. I'm gonna do this 10 times, okay? 1. It's good to do this every day. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was nothing. Taganina Shar. It is really hot though, so I'm not gonna keep doing that. Do tricep extension. I need to look that up and see what that form is like though. I don't know what exactly a tricep extension is, to be honest. But I'll look it up. Tricep extension. Where's YouTube that? Tricep. Here we go. Oh, I see. Let me look this up on YouTube though. It's kind of one of those visual demonstrations. Oh boy. Oh, I see. Dumbbell. Oops. Dumbbell tricep extension. Okay. I'll do that. That looks easy. It's kind of like you take just one of these. You just take one of these and go like this. Like that. That would be a tricep extension now, wouldn't it? Let me just see what this guy's doing. Hope I don't drop this. Okay, oh, it's gotta be like that. Okay. Well, they're showing me. Let me see. They all look the same. What the hell? What, is that, am I doing it right? 1 or 2 arms? Oh, you mean like that? Kind of like that? Oh, that's way harder. That's way harder, dude. Wow. Nice. Very nice. That's not a bad exercise. Thanks for showing me that. Nice. That's good form right there. I mean, what I'm seeing here. Nice. I like Rob Schneider. He's cool. I know him as like, I mean, now I just like, he's so much cooler, but I recognize him as the turtle from Over the Hedge. Wasn't he the turtle from Over the Hedge? His voice sounds very familiar to me. And that's the first thing I thought of. Let me see if I'm correct there. Just look up Over the Hedge. That's such a good cartoon. And it's got Steve Carell. He's the goofy squirrel in it. It's like my favorite. Actually, my favorite character from that movie is the exterminator dude. He's hilarious. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm wrong. Gary Shandling. Oh, okay. I guess he isn't in it. I thought he was. I thought he was the turtle dude. No, it's got, yeah, Gary Shandling is the turtle. I see. I always thought that Wanda Sykes was a little annoying. It came out when I was like 15. Oh, thank you very much, Lewis. Gonna call it a night, Anne. Great seeing you. It's good seeing you too, Lewis. Take care. Thank you. What's my religion? I'm Catholic. What's with the glasses? They're reading glasses. It's so I can read. I'm annoying but funny. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm not always this annoying. I'm not always this annoying. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, he does. Well, I mean, he Rob Schneider, tells it like it is, I think. I mean, I think he's honest. I don't know why I thought he was like a voice actor for some reason. I'm gonna look it up and see if he is, though. Because I don't know, his voice sounds so familiar to me. Let me see. Yo, being a voice actor would be my dream job. That'd be so much fun. He looks so familiar too. Like when he's younger. Let me see. He's a comedian. Schneider. So, oh, he was in, wait a minute. He was in 8 Crazy Nights. That's a cartoon. That's the Adam Sandler Christmas cartoon. That was a funny movie. It was, what I didn't like about that cartoon though was because of all the blatant product placement. It was ridiculous. They were even like advertising Happy Panda at one point. Or no, not Happy. Was it Happy Panda? Is that the restaurant? It's been so long since I've been there. Maybe it is Happy Panda. Yeah. I never saw the Beverly Hillbillies, but I heard it was really good. He's in Home Alone 2. That's where I recognize him. He's one of the bad guys in that film. Yeah. Happy Saturday to you, Meet the Sea. Thank you. He wasn't in that? I don't know why I thought I saw that. No, wait a minute. Returning the favor, Sandler appeared in a cameo to spout the same line in Schneider's The Animal. Schneider narrated Sandler's 2002 animated movie 8 Crazy Nights and voiced the part of a Chinese waiter. Oh, yeah, he had a very small voice acting role in that cartoon. Yeah. Yeah, he was. It seems like he was in a lot of those really silly, I don't know how you describe early 2000s humor, but it was its own thing for sure. It was kind of like Ali G, you know, or You Don't Mess with the Zohan, or Super Bad. Like that type of humor. He's everything almost 90s, yeah, like late 90s or just throughout the 90s and early 2000s. Borat, yeah. Nice. Yeah, those are funny. I like that guy. I like his Ali. I like that other guy. What's his name? The guy who did Ali G and Borat. He's hilarious. His Ali G is character is just plain genius. Leslie Graham. Leslie Graham. He's so funny. He trolled so good. Bruno. Yeah, he's cool. Oh, Sacha Baron Cohen. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's the name I was looking for. Who believe? I don't know what you're talking about, Randall. Ali G in the house. That's right. That's what's up. Yeah, that stuff cracks me up. Oh yeah, dude. I can see you guys so much more clearly with the damn glasses here. I just recently had to start wearing reading glasses. It's probably, yeah, just a sign I'm getting old, and the screens and video games and all that are taking a toll. Yeah, well, around 8+ women were responsible for contributing to the creation of the internet. So we just went over that, to be honest. You must have been here. I mean, what a coincidence that you'd bring that up otherwise. I look like Beyonce. No. That people have made comparisons. People have compared me to certain, like, you know, people, celebrities, like, but Beyonce is a first. I doubt that. I don't think I look like Beyonce. Oh man, well man, you got me. You got me. Wish it was. You got me there. Whatever will I do? You've blown my cover. Guess I'm screwed. Fuck you. You don't look anything like Beyonce. Yeah, I know. I know I don't. And I don't like Beyonce either. Yeah, even if I liked her, I would say no, I don't look like her. I just don't. I don't even have her face shape. But I do get a lot of Sarah Connor from the Terminator. And some people say I look like the lead singer from the Cranberries. Some people say I look like Winona Ryder. But it's funny, people used to say I looked like Winona Ryder when I was young with short hair. Now everyone's saying that I look like her from Stranger Things. That's what happens when you get old, man. People they go from comparing you to like an actress when they were younger to comparing you to the actress when they're like way older. Oh, I don't have a problem with that. That's how you know you're getting old. Went from Girl Interrupted to Stranger Things. Like that. Time goes by just like that. God, I can't snap my fingers for shit. So strong. Well, thank you, Meet the Sea. I think, I don't know if I'd be a good teacher, but I think that grading people's work would give me a lot of anxiety. Having to give people bad grades, especially if I like them, and I have to give them a bad grade. I mean, I could, but I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like having to fail people, you know? They're, and that's the thing, you know, as a teacher, you're going to feel like you failed the kid when in fact it's up to it's the kid's responsibility to do their school, you know, and to apply themselves. And, you know, maybe even part of it is on the parents, you know, for their kids to study when they get home, you know. But that part I have issue with. But I do think I'd be a good art teacher. I'd be a pretty good art history or just art teacher, you know, because that's what I really, that's where I'm a true geek. That's where I really geek out, and I have more knowledge there. Nathaniel thinks I look like Rosie O'Donnell. Thank you. How sweet of you. Dickhead. Teaching is about letting student knows their flaws and guidance towards a better understanding, yeah? Well, it certainly shouldn't be about indoctrinating children with your politics or with your sexuality or anything like that. It's weird. It's really weird when teachers try to shove the concept and the topics of sexuality down children's throats. You know, and I hear children asking questions in the background. You can tell they're not even past kindergarten or 1st grade, you know? And these teachers are like, oh, how do I come out to my students? It's like, dude, kids shouldn't be thinking about that stuff. You should be teaching them math, reading, writing, blah, 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 blah. You shouldn't be telling them about your personal, what you have, what you prefer in bed. Ugh. Creepy. You can look in these teachers' eyes, man. It's just so sinister. So sinister. They love brainwashing these kids. They feel powerful doing it. It's disgusting. To come out to your students, sexuality shouldn't be part of the curriculum. I know, right? I know. But all you have to do, Blair White covers this a lot. You know, there's a whole list of teachers doing this kind of stuff. They're all over the place. They hire people like this. They don't want kids focusing on their education. They want to keep kids dumb. They want to make every generation dumber and dumber so that they can keep power for themselves. That's why they want us to be divided. Keep us distracted while they keep all the power. Society has gone to shit. It sure has. Yeah. And it's sad. It's sad. It makes women look bad, to be honest. The fact that a lot of these people are women. You know? But yeah, I mean, that's what you get with DEI. You get hired based off of, you know, woke policies, the color of your skin, your sexuality, identification, all identity politics rather than maybe they're qualified. I mean, they're giving less advantages to people who deserve them. It's like they almost act like accepting an Asian person into a college would be racist or something, which is stupid. It's like, dude, I mean, I think that being known for being smart is a good thing. Like, why do they act like that's a bad thing? This chick is a chick 100%. You got that right. Bingo. Bingo, shamingo, flamingo. The elites are trying to maintain the status quo as it's because they love ignorant people who only follow and never question authorities. That's right. That's correct. Yeah, it is annoying when people constantly ask if I'm a man, but I honestly think they're just trying to berate me. It has nothing to do with anything other than them wanting to berate me because either they don't like my politics or they just, you know, they're insecure people who can't really get a good women in their lives, so they got to go to a random stranger on the internet and insult them. It's very sad, pathetic. Thank you, Shimsu. Hey, Tony Clifton, how are you doing? Been a long time since I've seen you here, it seems. Maybe I saw you briefly the other day, I'm not sure. Oh, that felt good. You hear I crack my back? Oh yeah. I didn't. You know, I don't worry if I'm putting any strain on my spine. I don't put any tension there. It's just like a typical yoga pose. It's just like a very light twist like that. Yeah. I do that kind of torso twist a lot with very gentle yoga poses. Like that one where you're lying on your back with your knees up, feet flat on the ground, knees in the air. Okay, so you cross your legs. You cross the legs and you turn your lower body while leaving your upper body flat on the ground. And then you naturally get that twist. And sometimes my back just cracks like when I do that. It feels so good. Twist and shout, twist and shout. It's just trolls in here doing what they do. You're right about that. You're right about that. But a lot of them ask the same question. I don't really, it doesn't, it's just annoying. You know, it's obnoxious, but it doesn't mean anything. You know, because a lot of guys here think I'm good looking. And a lot of guys outside of here think I'm good looking. I'm not tooting my horn. I'm just saying, for someone to say I look like a man, we know they're trolling. We know they're not sincere. And we know that they're wrong about that. They're idiots. Last time you missed what I was wanting you to read. Oh, did I? I'm sorry. Why, I think you're attractive, smart, well-spoken, lean, and pretty is just what I believe. Oh, thank you, American Dream. That's very sweet of you to say. Oh, thank you. If I've missed any comments, it's not that I'm intentionally ignoring you. There's a lot, you know? It's kind of par for the course. Especially when I'm, talking in between and all that, I'll miss something. If there's something you wanted to, if there's a question you have for me or anything for that matter, just run it by me again, It's sorry if I missed it. It is what it is. It's bound to happen. Maybe if trolls, they came up with something new, the punchline would be more effective, but they're the same old garbage. That's right. I never went to prison, you dipshit. I wish I could go live so I could share my prison and drug stories. Well, for one thing, we're not talking about drugs at the very moment. And for another, I've never been to prison, fortunately. Yeah, you're nasty. And I do this to try to help people. Recovery content significantly helped me. And I know it makes you feel insecure to see someone like me able to conquer their demons and get out of it and become a stronger, wiser person, as I can take accountability, and you're probably insecure because maybe you can't, maybe. I'm not saying you can't necessarily, I don't know you, but you talk like a very insecure person. I just noticed something. Your voice isn't that common. I found it amusing. I wonder why that is. I always wonder about the late night streamers. It's 9:30 p.m. It's not that late here right now, but actually I do like streaming it at night. I feel I'm a little more, I'm a little more awake. I am awake. It is hot. It's like 80 degrees. Yeah, when it's hot during the day, and I just don't feel like doing much during the day when it's that hot. You just wish I could play music. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably get YouTube music set up one of these days. I hate Jimmy Kimmel. So I'd probably say Jimmy Fallon's better, but I don't really like him too. But Jimmy Kimmel's insufferable. He's insufferable, and even before his blatant Trump derangement syndrome, which is just so unattractive, even before that I couldn't stand him. For some reason, he just, out of all the late night, I mean, there are others that I don't necessarily like that much. The only ones I really think are good, or were good, I like Conan O'Brien, and I like Johnny Carson. But most of the talk show hosts, especially like the daytime talk show hosts, kind of suck, you know? Jay Leno is good. Oh, I also like Letterman. I like Letterman. He's not bad. He's amusing. He has some fun guests on sometimes. I used to watch him. He was also the longest working talk show host. I think he was on for the longest than anyone. I don't like Stephen Colbert. I do not like Stephen Colbert. He's a joke to Catholics too, in my opinion. I don't like him. His Trump derangement syndrome is so cringe. It's so unbelievably cringe. His jokes aren't funny anymore. He's taken off air because he sucked. You know? I don't like him. I like Conan O'Brien. I think he's funny. Yeah, he says he's Catholic, but you know, he just seems fake. He doesn't seem real, man. Let me see. Yeah, I don't really like him. Yep. No, the term Trump derangement syndrome isn't lazy. It fits the bill, man. It fits the bill. I mean, the only thing that the Democrats stand on right now, which is why they're thinking about, you know, this rift, like dividing into two separate parties. The Democrats, all they care about is bringing Trump down. They don't stand for anything but identity politics and bringing Trump down, and you know, competing for the victim Olympics, oppression Olympics. I don't think it's lazy. And not only that, I know what an ad hominem is. You guys, you're projecting, man. You guys are the ones who attack character. You attack people's character with no logical basis behind what you're saying. I'll make a point, and then all you can do is call me names and say mean things and tell me I'm dumb and that I don't know what I'm talking about and that Trump derangement syndrome was like, no, it's so accurate and so true that it's actually triggering you. That's what I think. And you're assuming I don't know what that means. You're probably saying that because you're fucking sexist and you probably think I'm stupid because I'm a woman. You're an idiot. Oh boy, yeah, and I'm sure it's only not okay for me to vape. You don't care about my health, you only care about how it looks. You couldn't give a shit about the fact that well, you know what, I'm not gonna give you anything. I'm not gonna give you anything because you don't care and I don't care. I don't care what you say to me. Bye, bitch. Yep. I lean conservative. I'm not like super far, like at the end of either, you know, I'm not on either end of the spectrum. I'm kind of more towards like leaning conservative, but more towards the middle, if that makes any sense. Anyhow, let's read some Bible verses and end the live stream, shall we? We've been on here for about 3 hours, I think. Maybe 2.5 hours. So I think it's a good time. Oops. Yeah, I need to get some more moderators. I used to have more moderators, but some of them haven't been around for a little while. They've been a little, some of my moderators have been a little preoccupied. And I think a lot of it's also because I've started doing my live streams a little later in the day, and they were usually around earlier, you know. That makes sense, actually. I think that if I were to have my live streams a little earlier in the day, we'd see some of my older mods. But it is what it is. I'm trying to make it work out. Okay. I'll make you a mod, Tony Clifton, since you did ask, and you've been around for a while. Okay, there you go, Tony. I mean, I let some trolls stay because it is engagement. It does help my channel a little bit. But if people are gonna be just plain malicious and spammy and, you know, that nasty, then yeah, I mean, I have no problem with you guys getting rid of them. Thank you, Astrophyte. I appreciate it, Tony. I appreciate it. And just so you know, I know how to take moderators down. I know how to, you know, make it so you're not a moderator. So yeah, people do get out of hand. Chris Max, you would like to be a moderator also? Okay, I'll make you a moderator since you've been here for a while, okay? Again, guys, just be aware. If suddenly it looks like my channel's being sabotaged, because this has happened before when I was too rash about choosing a moderator, you know, I didn't know them enough, like on my channel, I wasn't that familiar with them, and then all of a sudden they use that power to try to pit people against each other in the chat. They started kind of stalking me, you know, sending me so much spam behind the scenes. From what I heard, from, you know, it was actually a screenshot was taken and sent to me of how creepy they were. So I don't even know if I'd call it stalking, but just harassing. And it was just really weird. So yeah, I just want to let you know I'd love for you guys to be my moderators, but please don't go overboard. A little bit of trolling's okay, you know. But if people are being malicious and hateful and all that, and yeah, we know what to do. Thank you, Chris Max. Thank you for the trophies, guys. Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah, the spamming sucks. Hey, American Dream. I'll start coming back. I'm new. Well, welcome to the channel, American Dream. Oh, 2 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 14. Okay, let's do that. Thank you for the recommendation. Second book of Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 14. Okay, chapter 7, verse 14. Alrighty. For if I have expressed to him some pride in you, sorry, I'm going to start that over. For if I have expressed to him some pride in you, I was not put to shame. But just as everything we said to you was true, so our boasting before Titus has proved true. And his heart goes out all the more to you as he remembers the obedience of you all, and the fear and trembling with which you received him. I rejoice because I have perfect confidence in you. I read a little further than just verse 14, but yeah, that's a good one. Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Tony. Thank you. Thank you, Chris Max. Got your Bible ready? Nice. Bible time. It's Bible time. All right. Enjoy the live stream and keep it friendly. Thank you, Chris Max. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, me too. I think we should just have nothing to do with them if we can't negotiate with them, you know? If they want to choose to live like that. I mean, it's sad though that some people, some of the citizens who live there never chose to live under that regime. Just think of how normal things were back, like in before the 70s. You know, it used to be that women could be free and like normal people, you know, live like normal people, and now they're being treated like cattle. You know, it's really sad. But as far as negotiating with their leaders, it's almost futile. I think it is futile. Yeah, we can't negotiate with terrorists. You're right. You're right about that. Thank you, Jason Gasper. Thank you for the star, Chris Max. Thank you, Tio. Thank you, friendly foe. I implore you to read. Okay, we're gonna do that. Like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Chris Max. I appreciate that. Yeah, I have nothing there. I don't dislike Iranians, just, you know, as human beings. A lot of them don't want to live under their corrupt regime, you know? There's a difference between criticizing people and criticizing a country. You know, the laws that a country has and how they treat women, you know? Genital mutilation, man. Marrying cousins, man. And children, man. You know, like, I mean, you could go on and on and on, all the horrible crimes against women and humanity that they're guilty of, but they don't care. They're just going to keep doing it. You can't negotiate with them. But there are, you know, good people there who don't deserve to live under that regime, who actually, some of the people in Iran wish that Trump would come in and put an end to the violent system that they live under. A new sheriff is in town, that's right. That's what's up. Oh yeah, and honor killing. Oh, absolutely. There's that too. And you got a lot of lefties trying to deny that any of that exists and act like they have it better for women than we do here. Imagine that. You know? There are people being interviewed, like, you know, these lefties and protesters being interviewed on what they think of all that. And they all think it's hunky-dory for women over there. And gay people. So it's like, oh, would you like to move over there? Oh, sure we would. Oh, we'll buy your ticket. They go over there and it doesn't go so well. Anyway, let's read the Bible, guys. We don't allow blasphemy here, sorry. I think it's a way to hide women from society because men can't control their urges, or they think that other men can't control their urges. Like, well, I mean, it is allowed over there for men to have their way and do whatever they want with women, but that's the reason why husbands and like men hide their women, and women aren't allowed to show their faces. Or, you know, I saw this video of a woman being forcefully taken into a vehicle, into a van. She was thrown into a van because she wasn't wearing her burqa correctly, because her hair was showing or something. And there's actually video footage of that where she's hardly even resisting. She's just like kind of, you know, like, I don't want to get in there. I don't want to get in there. And everyone just like grabs her and like from either end and then throws her in there like a sack of potatoes because she wasn't wearing her fucking burqa correctly. That's wrong. And you have all these stupid leftists saying that, oh, it's fake. Lame. They did? They did? Is that true, Jason? Because I wasn't sure what the what happened there, what the end was there, but it wouldn't surprise me one little bit. They don't want to live like that. Even men who live there don't want to live like that. You know, there's some people there, old people, who, or boomers, who remember when things were like back the way they were before the 70s, when people could just walk around like normal people. What happened? It got, you know, it was taken over by evil people. That's what. Yeah. Well, yeah, the culture is terrible. It is. It is. It's all about, it's death to America and controlling and punishing women. Treating women like cattle, like property. Yeah, leftists have no idea what true feminism is. That's exactly true. That's exactly true. They couldn't give a shit about women's rights. Bible? Okay, let's read the Bible. Tangent. All right. Let's do it. Let's read since we read chapter 2 of Proverbs, we're going to read chapter 3 now. And we'll read 3 more verses and we'll be good for today. Proverbs chapter 3. It's a good one. This is a good chapter. My son, do not forget my teaching, but let your heart keep my commandments. For length of days and years of life and abundant welfare will they give you. Let not loyalty and faithfulness forsake you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablets of your heart, so you will find favor and good repute in the sight of God and man. Good repute in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not rely on your own insight. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. It will be healing to your flesh and refreshment to your bones. Honor the Lord with your substance and with the first fruits of all your produce. Then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline, or be weary of his reproof, for the Lord reproves him whom he loves, as a father the son in whom he delights. Happy is the man who finds wisdom, and the man who gets understanding, for the gain from it is better than gain from silver, and its profit better than gold. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand, in her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who lay hold of her. Those who hold her fast are called happy. The Lord by wisdom founded the earth. By understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the deeps broke forth, and the clouds dropped down the dew. My son, keep sound wisdom and discretion. Let them not escape from your sight, and they will be life for your soul, and adornment for your neck. Then you will walk on your way securely, and your foot will not stumble. If you sit down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Do not be afraid of sudden panic or of the ruin of the wicked when it comes, for the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught. Do not withhold good from those to whom it's due, when it is in your power to do it. Do not say to your neighbor, go and come again. Tomorrow I will give it, when you have it with you. Do not plan evil against your neighbor, who dwells trustingly beside you. Do not contend with a man for no reason, when he has done you no harm. Do not envy a man of violence, and do not choose any of his ways. Don't be like Andrew Tate, guys. For the perverse man is an abomination to the Lord, but the upright are in his confidence. The Lord's curse is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the abode of the righteous. Toward the scorners he is scornful, but to the humble he shows favor. The wise will inherit honor, but fools get disgrace. That's a very good one. Andrew Tate's going to prison and we're celebrating. Same with his douche brother. And they got like, what, 50 counts more or less of stuff like trafficking and grape and all sorts of other things I wasn't even aware of. Crazy. Crazy that anyone would stand for that guy. He's not a good person. And he's tells men to hit their wives. He's really not a good person through and through. You should not be standing with Andrew Tate, dude. I mean, if more men are like Andrew Tate, we'll definitely have more incels, that's for sure. No woman is going to want to be with a man like that unless they don't respect themselves, which unfortunately a lot of women don't respect themselves. Anywho, I don't care. I mean, you can be here. We're not going to get rid of you for saying you stand with Andrew Tate, but you know, we know what kind of person you are. Just so you know, if you're the type of person who stands with someone like that. I mean, do you agree with him that women should get beaten and not allowed to leave their house, and that men should be able to cheat on them, but women aren't allowed to even go out and have coffee with their girlfriends? Do you agree with that? That's what Andrew Tate thinks. I don't think most men think like that. That's terrible. And it's no wonder you went to go live in a country where that's allowed, where that kind of shit is allowed, where it's their culture now, you know? Yeah. Humans judge too. But we're not, I think you don't even know the difference, man, between humans judging and God judging. Like for instance, I can't judge whether a person's going to heaven or hell. Only God can judge that. Only God can judge what a person's final destination is, right? No one else can tell the future. No one else really knows what's deeply ingrained in someone's heart, but
We're able to judge as humans. We're able to judge what other people by what they say and how they live their lives. And Andrew Tate is all about abusing women. It's true. He's a very sketchy person, man. He's not a good person. I'm glad that most men don't think like that. I don't think most men think like that or agree that women should be beaten, slapped around. Yeah, he got what he deserves. That's right, Chris. He is not a man of God. He's a man of Allah. And you know what? According to this one girl who's like ex-Muslim, or just she blows the whistle on a lot of these things about how women are treated, even though a lot of it we already know. She was saying that according to Allah, and this is alleged, okay? This is what she said, and I agree. I believe her. She was saying that women aren't even allowed to yawn because Allah doesn't like it. You can sneeze, which is a good thing, because if you try to hold in your sneeze, you might get a stroke. You might get like a blood clot in your brain burst or something if you hold in your sneeze. That's dangerous. But you're not allowed to yawn, apparently. And I think that might be dangerous too. I'm not sure. Let's keep it positive and friendly. Drama. Should I read it like Tucker Carlson? Should I read the Bible like Tucker Carlson? Or would it be sacrilegious if I were to do that? Okay, I'm not going to do that. There's no way. Okay. I'm reading the Bible. We're going to read 3 more verses, okay? The letter of James, chapter 1, verses 2 down to 5. Count it all joy, my brethren, when you meet various trials, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives to all men generously and without reproaching, and it will be given him. That's a good one. There's a lot of good verses for recovering addicts in here. Absolutely. This is a good one right here. James chapter 4, verse 19 to 20. My brethren, if anyone among you wanders from the truth, and someone brings him back, let him know that whoever brings back a sinner from the error of his way will save his soul from death and will cover a multitude of sins. And here, how about chapter 4, verse a little bit more above here, 15 to 17, actually. And the prayer of faith will save the sick man, and the Lord will raise him up, and if he has committed sins, he will be forgiven. Therefore, confess your sins to one another, and pray for one another, that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous man has great power in its effects. I'll read 2 more. 2 more. How about Psalms? We'll read a chapter out of Psalms. Okay. Psalms chapter 40, verse 1 all the way down to 8. I waited patiently for the Lord. He inclined to me and heard my cry. He drew me up from the desolate pit, out of the miry bog, and set my feet upon a rock. Making my steps secure, he put a new song in my mouth, a song of praise to our God. Many will see and fear and put their trust in the Lord. Blessed is the man who makes the Lord his trust, who does not turn to the proud, to those who go astray after false gods. Thou hast multiplied, O Lord my God, thy wondrous deeds and thy thoughts towards us. None can compare with thee. Were I to proclaim and tell of them, they would be more than can be numbered. Sacrifice and offering thou dost not desire, but thou hast given me an open ear. Burnt offering and sin offering thou hast not required. Then I said, Lo, I come. In the roll of the book it is written of me, I delight to do thy will, O my God, O my God. Thy law is within my heart. Beautiful. Read one more. Psalms was written in the midst of David's own repentance process, making his praise of God so much more immensely powerful. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think everybody has cherry-picked the Bible here and there to an extent. I don't think anyone can thoroughly understand it as it's supposed to be understood. But some things can be better understood. I think Jesus, I really do abide by the New Testament over the Old Testament. And I think that Jesus is freedom. Jesus opened the gates so that we could go to heaven. That's what I do believe. Okay, anyway, we're going to read one more. Find a good one. Yes, I am Christian. Some people don't think Catholic is Christian, but it is. We are the first Christian church, founded by Jesus Christ, with St. Peter elected as the first pope, upon where he built his church. Yep. And it bothers me when people say we're not Christians, because we are, by definition. I know. Protestants, a lot of them want to separate themselves from us for some reason. Kind of like the way King Henry VIII wanted to separate himself from the Catholic Church so that he could divorce his wife. Which, yeah, I'm also, by the way, there are exceptions for divorce in the Catholic Church. It's not always considered a sin to divorce your spouse. For instance, if you're in danger, if your spouse is abusing you, then you can go talk to a priest and they will give you the go-ahead that you can divorce someone if they're hurting you. Yep. Oh, I'm Christian, all right. Whether you like it or not, bitch. Okay, we're going to read one more. Matthew chapter 5, verse 11 to 12. Blessed are you when men revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. For so men persecuted the prophets who were before you. Beautiful. We'll continue down to 16. You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trodden underfoot by men. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hid, nor do men light a lamp and put it under a bushel, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. Beautiful. All right. Amen. Yep. Common sense isn't that common these days. Yep. Agreed, Chris and Max. And many times when people discover common sense, they try hard to complicate it and make it more complex, even though sometimes the beauty is in the simplicity. That's right, Ryder. Jesus' salvation, indeed. Now put your hands together and talk about all the stuff you want. Oh, dear Lord. Go to hell. Romans chapter 5, verse 3 to 5? Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. Romans chapter 5, 3 to 5. Oop, I actually have this one highlighted. More than that, this is actually one of my favorites, so thank you. More than that, we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope, and hope does not disappoint us, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. Amen. Beautiful. Thank you. Hey, Joshua, how are you doing, man? No, adultery isn't the only grounds for divorce in the Bible, or at least according to the Catholic priest that we, you know. If your husband, for instance, is beating you, or if your wife is abusing you, or anything, you know, if either party is, you know, causing, you know, being violent or causing harm to the other, then yeah, divorce is good. It's okay. It's okay. The Catholic Church does not forbid it if it means keeping, if it means your life is at stake. Absolutely not. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was taught too, but I looked more into it, and actually you can divorce your significant other if they're harming you. I don't very know about this religion because I am from the East, but I think Christianity is a good religion and is a good thing to have strong belief in life. Thank you. Thank you, Mysterious. Absolutely. Appreciate that, man. Okay, let me see. Oh. Okay. Okay, so the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops has clearly stated that no woman is expected to stay in an abusive marriage and encourages these women to seek an annulment. Wow. Yep. Yeah, so if you're in a marriage or whatever where you're being like beaten or anything like that, yeah, you can leave. It's encouraged. Thank you, Chris Max. Yes, like and subscribe. You're welcome. Keep doing it. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for the star. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for all the gifts and the donations. I appreciate it. If I didn't see some of them come up, I'm sorry. I really appreciate it, man. All right. So we're gonna end this live stream pretty soon. Yeah, divorces aren't the problem. Divorce courts are. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I think it's really wrong the way they treat men in those divorce courts a lot of times, you know? Sometimes it isn't always the women who should have custody, you know? They again, they should be looking into each person's history and judging it just objectively or whatever, rather than discriminating against people just because of stereotypes or whatever, you know? People, they should talk to the kids too, you know? They should ask the kids, like, who's treating you better? You know? It should revolve around what the kids want, to be honest. Yeah, a lot of people are selling their souls. That's right. I think so. People, they give it the interpretation they feel most comfortable with. Instead of looking at the message from the heart, they look at it from their limited perspective. I agree. My stereotype is Sony. I like Sony. I like PlayStation. I always preferred a little bit more over it. I always like Sony games, PlayStation games more than Nintendo. But I love Nintendo too. First game I ever played, I think, for PlayStation was Siphon Filter. Have you guys ever seen Siphon Filter? I can show you that on YouTube. If you guys haven't seen it, it's so good. And I haven't played that in so long. I wonder if they actually have that on Steam now. So let's look up Siphon Filter. Such a good game. I played Siphon Filter 1 and 2. And when I watched the whole walkthrough recently on YouTube without commentary, and it gave me so much nostalgia. Because I was probably like 6 years old when I played that for the first time. Could have been younger. Oh, they have Siphon Filter without commentary. Ah, shut up. Okay. It's only 2.5 hours. Some of these walkthroughs are like 8 hours. Oh gosh, that is so nostalgic. I'm gonna rewind that. That was so fucking nostalgic. Look at it. 989 Studio. Wasn't that nostalgic, gang? You guys had... This is for one of the first games I ever played.
They are coming. Go, torch it. Burn it all. But what about the serum? Leave nothing. Now I will
Turn up the lighting here a little bit. Finish him.
These are the coordinates Ellis sent.
Over there.
The graphics. Objective. It's gonna show us objectives pretty soon here. They made what was the guy's name?
It's Ellis. Executed.
What's this guy's name?
You find anything?
Anyway, they made the main character
Armor knew we were coming.
skinnier in the Siphon Filter 2. It was like the first thing I noticed when I was little. They made him more narrow. They made his head kind of long too. Like they stretched him out or something.
Sure enough. I want 2 additional teams assigned to this. Find
Yeah. Objective? Gosh, the music. I love the music. Okay. See, this level's so easy. Press X to continue. Just, dude. We could pause it, man. There we go.
When
does the operation begin?
Our intelligence within the FBI was not clear, but Romer's men are already inside the subway.
Is it the same virus?
Okay.
Yes, enough to eliminate everyone within 100 miles or more.
Procedure?
Standard intercept.
Anyone remember this game?
These are from our contact inside Interpol.
Yeah, let's not bother with nonsense comments.
You are the trigger.
Yeah, they're morons.
Dr. Du and Laura Aramov. Who's the
Joke's
other one?
on them, they're giving me engagement.
Romer's communications expert. When you eliminate him, you'll also have to destroy his comm uplink. You'll be dropped into the strike zone when the firefight begins. You'll have an hour to find your targets and take them out.
Do the locals know what they're dealing with?
No.
No. Do the locals know what they're dealing with? No, it just ends. Oh man, this game is so fun. I want to play this game again so much.
Copy. I'm on my way.
See if I can find it. Anyone remember this game? You remember this game from the arcades? Yeah, I played it on PlayStation 1. It was the first game I ever played on PlayStation. Yeah, I mean, how old is this game? Like 1998, maybe? Yeah, I played this when I was like 7. It was the first game I ever played. Other than Pokemon Snap. I remember when I played Pokemon Snap. That might be the first one. I know, doesn't it bring back memories? I love this game. This is a super easy level, too. First level. So good. Solids. I almost said Solid Snake, but that's a different game.
All clear, Gabe.
Gabe. His name's Gabe. Tase him! Tase him! Tase him! Tase the bitch. Da-da-da. 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 I loved blowing up the cop cars when I was a kid. Oh, I liked going into that green room. Little pool room. I remember when I was a little kid, this was the part I had the hardest time with. This green room.
Gabe, I'm getting interference. You must
It's probably easy as hell now. Kravich. You are unlocking memories I thought I never will bring back for the vault. I know, right? This game, man, it's... Really, I mean, nostalgia matters when it comes to games, I feel like. I enjoy games so much more when there's a nostalgic element in them. That's why I love Final Fantasy VII Xenogears so much, because I played those when I was younger. Wish I would have played more games, you know? I have more nostalgia for more games. But it's also nice being able to be, you know, being new to a game too. You know? Wish I would have played Suikoden back then. I heard that's a really good one. And I just bought it. Boing. Ooh. Oh, I remember when I was a kid, I felt so accomplished when I got to this point. I love the fact that you break into the glass instead of opening doors. I know, right?
Gabe, this must be where the subway security bypass switch is located. Find it and shut it off.
Copy. See if you can find a copy of the subway system security protocols.
You bypassed the subway security.
Oh, the subway creeped me out when I was a kid. I was like, actually got the heebie-jeebies from the subway. Yeah, at the very end, you're gonna, like the main antagonist in this level is a Russian lady, and you're gonna chase her down the subway, the train tracks. I always thought that part was so creepy when I was a kid. Actually gave me the spooks. Along with the music. I also remember that game, you can use a parachute. Yeah, I don't remember using a parachute in this game, but I do remember. It's been so long since I played this. But this level I remember so clearly because I was like 7 years old. I probably played it over and over again trying to beat it at that age. I'd get to like level 2 and then I'd start having more challenges. But I could probably play this game now, no issue. It's not that difficult. Yeah, I played Siphon Filter 1 and 2. I never played Siphon Filter 3. I don't even remember seeing my brother play that one, but he probably has it. Oh, there you go.
Beacon set. Tell CBDC to get its guys down here.
Copy. They're on their way.
Here we go. He's gonna catch whoever she is. I forget her name. Let's go. Let's go. Do you... Oh, I do... Oh, yes. I played Perfect Dark and James Bond on Nintendo 64. I love those games. Those are so good. The 007 was my favorite multiplayer game. My siblings and I used to play that all the time. And Perfect Dark. I love Perfect Dark. You got better weapons in Perfect Dark. Better levels, I think, too.
Located Romer. He's on the lower level, armed with
But Perfect Dark was my brother's game. He'd let me play it sometimes. I owned 007, though. Tase him! This isn't GoldenEye, is like, I know because this is Siphon Filter, man. This isn't GoldenEye. Someone just asked me if I'd played GoldenEye, and yeah, I said, yeah, I have. That was one of my favorite multiplayer games when I was a kid. But no, this is Siphon Filter. This is one of the first games I ever played. When my brother got a PlayStation, he let me play this game. It was one of my favorite. I played it all the time. Taser! No, it's not GoldenEye. It's Siphon Filter, dude. Oh, there we go. We're at the end of this level.
I'm setting a beacon. Wait,
I think.
Leon.
Actually, no, not quite yet.
Has a shorter timer. And it looks
That's not viral. It's
too late.
He's just too busy talking. Dude, run. He should have run rather than talk. It's got a shorter timer. Anything else? Washington, D.C. destroys subway incoming from Benton. You're lucky to be alive. 10 square blocks of downtown D.C. just sank 20 feet into the ground. It looks like Romer had the entire subway wire to explode as part of his escape plan. Likely... Trying to see if I could read that in time.
I'm here. I'm all right.
oh my god. I thought you'd been killed.
Not yet.
First game you ever played was Mario?
But the subway's
Nice.
a decoy.
I think that's a lot of
Somewhere
people's
else.
first game.
Where's
But
Romer?
for a lot of people it was like the original, like really old Mario game.
The ramps down here have collapsed.
I liked that Game Boy Mario game where you beat Wario at the end. I have that game. Mario Land 2. Flak Jacket. Oh yeah, I like the flak jacket. Oh, those I hated those guys when I was a kid. I love that taser, man. That taser is so good. It's a lethal taser.
Gabe, the viral bomb you tagged on level 1, CBDC can't get to it. Debris is blocking the ramp to the street.
Tell them to stand by. I'll find some of Romer's stashed explosives and clear it from my side.
There you go.
That should be all the C4 you need to blow open that passage.
I love getting headshots. Alright. Are we getting to the final boss yet? Come on. Ooh. Mm. Ooh. Here we go. Oof, man. Imagine being in that situation. I feel more immersed in the game when you talk in the background as if you were part of the game.
Gabe,
Gabe.
I restored video to portions of the undestroyed subway. Romer's men are moving through the main tunnel.
Check the subway map. Where does it lead?
This branch feeds into the Washington Park lines.
That's it. Tell Jenkins to get his men to the park and exercise extreme caution.
Jenkins.
Gerdu is there.
Benton says he'll handle it.
Alright, we're almost there. Had you ever thought about working as dubbing cartoons in games? No.
The gas mains.
But that'd be a dream job, man. Fuck. Could look into that and see. It's probably pretty competitive. Kind of like, isn't that like voice acting video games? Is that what you're referring to? Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I would love to have a job like that, man. I would love that. Yep, it's Siphon Filter. First game I ever played on a PlayStation. Second game I ever played on a PlayStation was Final Fantasy VII. Here we go. You've got the bomb technicians coming in. Get him! Get him! Get him! Shit, I love this game. I know, right? It brings so much nostalgia, dude. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm getting a message from Jenkins. Their team is in the park. They're under attack. One of the terrorists has a flamethrower.
Gerdu.
Oh, wow.
Benton wants us to head over there stat.
Tell
A
him as soon as I take
flamethrower.
over, I'll be on my way.
I want the flamethrower. Oh, fuck. Yeah, just let him go. I remember playing thousands of hours because it was so hard for me at the time. Yeah, me too. Me too. I was probably like 7 or 8 years old when I played this for the first time.
I've spotted Mara.
Oh, there she is. Mara Aramov.
I'm going after her.
There she goes. This part kind of scared me when I was a little kid. I thought it was spooky. No, this is my PC. I'm just showing you. This is just a YouTube walkthrough. I'm not playing it, but I'm just showing you guys one of my favorite games when I was a kid. Get her! Get her! Get her! Oh, that was easy. The easiest boss.
Where's Romer? Where are the other bombs?
Too late, Logan.
We'll see.
Yep. Oh yeah, the second level's so refreshing looking. It's so the second level looks so refreshing. It's like such a refreshing place to be. Look at all the rain.
Half Benton sent a team to pick up Mara Aramov. I left her wounded and unconscious in the Fifth Avenue tunnel, but chances are she's already on the move.
Copy.
She's on the move.
FEMA, you better do it
Oh,
soon.
she's still alive.
Whoever's gonna trigger the new viral device, whether or not the government meets its demands.
He's good at talking and running at the same time.
Tell Jenkins the smaller viral bombs are hidden throughout the park. Gru has the main one.
Logan, this is Benton. I have a mission to redirect. Jenkins' team has been eliminated. I'm putting you on located.
Jump.
Benton, what's going on?
CBDC is getting slaughtered. We need you to track down the viral devices and provide covering fire while CBDC agents come in and disarm them.
Good game. Good game. It's a good game. I like this game. Let's see if they have it on Steam. I'm curious. Yeah. That was definitely one of my favorite games when I was a kid. I played that game a lot. Let me see. Let me see if they even have it. I doubt it. Because I think I did look for it at one point. But I'll look again, see if they have it now. Be cool if they did, man. Oops. Yeah, they don't have it. They don't have it. I wish they did, though. But they don't. Oh. I think they don't think very well about the effect of the weapons for realistic effects. They didn't think very well about the effect of the weapons for realistic effects. Yeah. I mean, it's an old game. I'm going to guess 1998 is probably when it came out. Let me look. Let me Google that. Curious. Because I played that game like right when it came out. Because my brother got it right when it came out. And I remember when he first got it, we were downstairs and he let me play it, and it was so much fun. Let me see. Seven Filter video game. 1999, actually. Okay, so I was 8. Game is a year younger than I am. This game is 8 years older than I am. Or 7 years older, I mean. No, 8 years older, I mean. I keep thinking it's 1998. See, I was a Microsoft and GameCube guy, so the PS1 is lost to me. Was too young for it. Yeah, I played that game, PlayStation when my brother got himself a PlayStation. He gave that PlayStation to me at one point. Then I let my siblings borrow it, and then they thought I gave it to them, and I never saw it again, which sucked. But I had a GameCube too. I like GameCube. I had Metroid and Resident Evil 0 and a whole bunch of games. But PlayStation was always my favorite. Final Fantasy and Xenogears are my favorite games. What's up? Hey, Yus. Hello. Anyway, guys, it's 10:30. I did say we're going to end at 9 o'clock, but as usual, we stayed a little longer, and I'm going to end the live stream now, okay? Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Did you ever play with the Game Boy Color? Yes, I did. In fact, I got a Game Boy Color for Christmas when I was 10 years old. I got the magenta one. My first Game Boy I ever got was magenta colored, and I got Pokemon Gold, but the first game I ever got was Toy Story 2. I got Toy Story 2 for Game Boy, and I got Pokemon Gold, and I have a few other games that I still have, but they're I think they're kind of broken. you gotta blow into the cartridge, which is typical for old games like this. But let me see if I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it right now. But yeah, I have like I have Mario Land 2, and I have Tetris. Selling modified Pokemon on Ruby and Sapphire. I never got Ruby and Sapphire. I only had Gold. The stream is great. Thank you, Mysterious. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You look gorgeous. Thank you. God bless you too, Charisma. Charisma. Dude, the Game Boy Advance SP changed my life. Yeah, it's a good one. Oh yeah, I have a Nintendo Switch. I have a lot of games on that too. But yeah, I have a Nintendo Switch and a PC. And that's all I have. Actually, I have a GameCube. It's downstairs somewhere. I just don't have a setup for that right now. Yes, thank you, Chris Max. Please like and subscribe. The stream was so satisfying. I'm really glad. Thank you. All right. Bless you guys. What is the hubbub with the new Switch? Isn't there pricing scandal going on right now? I didn't know that. I was just talking about how PlayStation 5 is like the most disliked version of PlayStation, and yet they doubled the price on that while all the other ones went down in price by like 50% or so. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I don't know anything about that. Huh. Pricing scandal with the Switch? Let me look that up now. I'll look it up. Nintendo, okay. Nintendo Switch. Pricing scandal. The Nintendo Switch pricing controversy centers on multiple hardware and software price hikes, an $80 standard price for next generation games, and a public backlash surrounding international import tariffs. Following the release of newer hardware, Nintendo implemented widespread price increases, which ultimately backfired and prompted unusual retail discounts. Key pricing controversies. Next generation software costs. Consumers have expressed significant frustration over the pricing of first-party titles, with standard MSRPs for major releases reaching $80 USD, surpassing both the previous generation and competing $70 AAA titles on PS5 and Xbox. Hardware price hikes and tariffs. Instead of dropping hardware prices, Nintendo raised the retail prices of existing Switch consoles, which prompted further consumer backlash. This situation became highly controversial when Nintendo faced a class action lawsuit for consumers. The lawsuit alleges that Nintendo passed the cost of U.S. government import tariffs onto consumers, but subsequently attempted to sue the government to reclaim those same tariff funds. Wow. Physical versus digital discrepancies. Adding to the frustration is the company's dual pricing strategy, which led to confusion regarding whether physical copies are being artificially inflated or digital editions are simply cheaper. In many Western and European markets, physical editions command higher price tags, leading players to feel like they are penalized for preferring physical media. Wow, that's terrible. I think I've heard Asmongold talk about this. Wow. Never knew Nintendo had this many teeth in them. Their legal department seems to be no joke, yeah. I don't always wear glasses. No, these are just my reading glasses. It makes it easier for me to read the chat and read stuff online, just anything. I can't read without glasses now. At least, not easily. I could, but I'd have to, kind of strain now. That's what happens when you get old. Yeah, I got wind of this from Asmon too, LOL. Yeah. Never knew. Yeah. Oof, $80 to play Smash Brothers. I'm sure it'll be worth it though. Been a game and watch me since Melee, so I can't stop now, right? Yeah. Yeah, I kind of sucked at Super Smash Brothers. But that's because my siblings played 24/7, practically. Oh, I'm exaggerating, but they played it a lot and I never played it. And then when they're like, hey, do you want to play? I'm like, sure. And they're just like, I'm like, oh shit. I haven't played this in a long time because I suck. But yeah, it's not really my kind of game. It's not my favorite kind of game. Don't mess with the government, IRS, or Nintendo. They will destroy you. Mm. I got wind of this from the title as I was scrolling. By the way, who's Breaking Habits exactly? I noticed that's what the channel is titled. However, strangely enough, your name is Tangent T. Yeah. The name of my channel is Breaking Habits because I overcame heroin addiction, and we talk about overcoming addiction and cultivating better habits. For the most part, that's what we talk about a lot. But we talk about other things because we're more than our addiction, and I often do go off on tangents talking about other things, hence why my URL is Tangent T. It's easier to say. It used to be Diary of a Recovering Addict, which is just a little too long in my opinion. And my channel is more than just addiction, you know. We talk about art. I sell art. I get commissions. We talk about video games. I play video games sometimes. I've been trying to set up OBS Studio. I upgraded my laptop a little bit with some better hard drive and all that, so I could do that with you guys. And we're getting closer to figuring that out. I've pretty much figured it out for the most part, except that I'm having a hard time making it so I can see the chat while I'm gaming. But I'll figure it out. No, you're good, dude. Not an easy thing to do prior to jewelry. I was going to pharmacy school. Near impossible to rewrite these dopamine circuits after addiction. Good on you. It's not easy and is completely thankless. Well, man, I'm very grateful, and I know that our dopamine receptors can revert back to normal. We're not fucked, you know? It takes time. It takes applying yourself to recovery and focusing on wellness, you know? I found that nutrition and exercise and having a good counselor and therapist and outpatient treatment early in recovery, even weed helped because of the drug dreams at one point. But you're not forever I mean, of course you're maybe weaker in the sense that if someone comes up to you and offers you drugs, it might be hard to resist than if you never had it. But otherwise, if you stay away from that stuff for long enough and you try to cultivate better practices and exercise your brain as it is like a muscle, you know, our dopamine receptors and everything can revert back to normal levels. I get a lot of pleasure out of my painting. I never thought I'd get back to that point, you know. I get a lot of pleasure out. I get more pleasure out of playing video games than I did doing heroin, actually, when I think about it. I mean, it's a different kind of pleasure. It's you know, I mean, with heroin, at first it feels good. It's a big holiday, honeymoon phase. But eventually it gets to the point where your tolerance is so high that you don't even feel the initial pleasurable high that you used to feel. You're always chasing it. Sometimes you might find it, but usually that's when you come across an extremely dangerous package of heroin. Like people will say, hey, there's this stuff going around that's been giving people ODs. And if your tolerance is super high and you've been doing it for years, you're going to be like, oh, I got to get my hands on that stuff because it's actually going to make me high. Otherwise, most of the time when you do heroin, when your tolerance gets to that point, when the honeymoon phase is over, all it's going to do is make it so you're not sick anymore. It's, you know, and all your money down the drain, relationships down the drain, and everything in life just becomes obsession for heroin. Nothing else matters. And I wouldn't want to live like that ever again. It's amazing how your brain can heal. And I want for people to know that, because there's hope. There's hope in that. You're not fucked for life. You absolutely are not. And life can get better. Enjoy. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chris Max. Weed, specifically hash resin, has helped me get and stay clean for 6 years. Exactly. That's why I like weed, you know? I need to be careful with it in the sense that if I do it all day, you know, and it's easy when it's on your bedside table to just do it first thing in the morning, I won't get that much done and I won't be as motivated to get things done throughout my day. However, if I get everything done, work on my painting, do my live stream, take my boy for a walk. Actually, I don't have really an issue smoking weed, taking my boy for a walk. Actually, I like going for walks outside while I'm high. But, you know, just stuff like where I really need to focus, cerebral activities, like reading or talking with people. Because when I smoke weed, I fuck up my speech coordination most of the time. You know, I just doing nothing seems amusing enough, so I'll just sit around all day if I smoke too much weed. But if I get everything done, all my obligations, all of my objectives, then I smoke weed, and then after this I smoke weed, I feel good about it. You know, I don't feel as guilty, and I feel accomplished and like I deserve it. But yeah, it prevents drug dreams, and those can be very dangerous, and cravings. And it can improve appetite. And I've dealt with eating disorders, and it has made that better too, I think. Yeah, dab in Star Trek after day's work is divine AF. You got that right. Two different names are associated with PayPal, Cash App. I swear you're sending mixed messages here. Well, yeah, I got different names for different accounts. I don't have the same name across every account, but I have everything. I have all my information written down right here. You know, at Ann G333. I mean, it's right there. Cash App. $ Shando the dog spelled like DAWG. I mean, what's so complicated about that? Most people do have different names for different accounts. You know, Instagram Anna.Katrina.art. Discord's Emerald_Wing_13473. Agreed. It is a definite help in saving grace at the end of a 12 to 14 hour workday. Yep. That's right. Sorry if that confuses you, man, but I don't think most people have an issue with that. Should I change that? Should I just make it so my name's the same across all the platforms? I find that I can't change my Instagram one for some reason. But I'm not even going to bother with PayPal and Cash App, guys. It's all down here. All that information is down here. Sorry if it's confusing. Yep, I can't imagine what it does to one's self-image as well. I felt terrible craving for a sleeping pill after taking them for years. Didn't know how much better I was off without them. Exactly. And you won't know how much better off you are without them until you've been off of them for a significant period of time. Usually, with heroin withdrawal, okay, day 2 and 3 are the worst in terms of the pain, the bone deep pain, the leg thrashing and all that is at its worst day 2 and 3. And then over the course of the first week, you know, after that, it steadily gets better, the pain. But you're still going to feel as weak as a kitten. You'll probably feel as weak as a kitten by like day 10. And then after that, you're just slowly, steadily just starting to feel more like yourself. Then by the time you've reached a month, all the pain is gone, but you're going to feel bored, you're going to feel depressed, and you're going to feel anxious as hell, and you're going to have cravings. That's when you really need help. That's a time when you really need to go to outpatient or inpatient, whatever you think you need there. Get a good counselor, meditate, focus on getting good nutrition, because heaven knows, when I went through withdrawal, all I could eat was applesauce, and I got down to 92 or 3 pounds. And I mean, there are all kinds of things. You can go to NA and AA, you know, have a community, stay away from the environment where you got those drugs, and don't talk to the people you got them from. Have friends or get friends who support you, and family, if you can. if we haven't broken all of our bridges, you know, and if we have broken all of our bridges, if family or whoever won't talk to us because I don't know, they gave up on us or whatever, then we can reach out to counselors. We can go to NAAA. There will always be a community there who will lift you up when you're dealing with it, you know, when you're a drug addict or someone who is dealing with addiction. Absolutely. There's always someone out there who will help. Always. Yeah, man, waking up groggy and running high-speed machining tools was more dangerous than I'd like to admit. Withdrawal for me was closer to total insomnia. I had to go to the hospital to be put out. Man, yeah. Yeah, I wish I could have done that. Wish I would have thought of it. You know, hey, Dad, I'm not able to, I don't think I can go through this withdrawal. Can you pick me up and carry me to the hospital? Because there's no way in hell that I'm going to get up and get dressed and put my shoes on. And when I'm, you know, I mean, when you're that sick, I was sweating through layers of sheets, and I couldn't even change my sheets, man. That's why you have that whole scene in Trainspotting with Mark Renton preparing to go cold turkey, and he, you know, he has all this preparation material and the foods he's gonna eat and everything. He has like a shit bucket and a puke bucket right by his bed. Unfortunately, you might have to go through with that, man, if you're going through heroin withdrawal. It's not pretty, but it's worth it getting clean. It's this versus the rest of your life. It's either you choose heroin and discard everything, discard life, or you choose life and discard heroin. Choose everything. You went through withdrawal in jail? My best friend, one of my best friends went through that. And he told me that the withdrawal was so bad, nothing to help him, no medications, nothing. He was bashing his head against the concrete in order to feel some sort of localized pain, distraction from the heroin withdrawal, from the pain of heroin withdrawal. It is bad, man. But if you know what's at store, if you know what's going to happen, if you know how long it's going to take, then it's better. It's easier. Because in the moment, it does feel like it's never going to end. You know, that pain just goes on and on and on. But it's not impossible. There is help out there. And you don't have to go full-blown cold turkey like I did either, you know? Yeah, it's the same reason animals in extreme pain bite themselves, just to feel something else, precisely. Hi, Dear Tangent. Nice to meet you. I'm from India. Hi, barista. I was a barista for 10 years. How are you doing? Thank you and all in chat for welcoming another lost soul trying to find his way from this chaotic and always interesting life. Okay. Well, if you're referring to me, I'm a she, by the way. Well, you see, it's totally worth it recovering, guys. It is very much worth it. And I hope this channel helps. I hope it inspires some of you guys, you know, to make decisions and get clean decisions that are going to make your lives so much better. So many doors open up for you when you get clean. Trust me. Life is more interesting, and there's nothing can replace the joy of having friends and people around us who are proud of us and support us. You know, that heroin can never replace that. It is kind of like an abusive girlfriend or boyfriend, you know. It's hard. It's like a succubus that lures you in. Seems relatively harmless at first, but then it takes everything out of you. Takes everything away from you. It's not worth it. I think most of us have phone addiction, dude. I mean, if I have to, I can put my phone down and go do what I need to do, right? But I know, like, for younger people, it's really hard. You know, you got really young people who, I can only imagine what it's like when their parents tell them to put their phone down so that they can do chores or whatever. But yeah, I am a little bit addicted to my phone. But I mean, yeah, I can put it down if I need to. I see this as work, you know, like, but work that I enjoy. You know, people are coming to my DMs and telling me, giving me feedback, telling me that my content's actually helping them, then I see this as a very, you know, this is very worthwhile, and that means a lot to me. It's keeps me going with this, you know. Anyhow, we've been doing this for 4 hours. Let's see, how long has it been? When did I start this? I mean, I'll be able to see soon enough, but I think it's been like 4 hours or so. Not gonna lie, I can't work without a YouTube vid in the background. Yeah, me too. I like having a little white noise. I like listening to like Asmongold or whoever when I'm not just Asmongold, but you know, I like Ewu Crew, or sometimes Blair White, and sometimes Oompaville or whatever, you know. I'll listen to something random in the background while I like to watch a lot of nature videos too. I like to watch lions taking down zebras and shit. The stuff that Joe Rogan gets super hard over. You know, it's kind of cute seeing him get all enthusiastic when they talk about bears and shit. Dude, the Ewu video about that Montana couple makes my skin crawl. I don't know if I saw that. The most recent one I saw was actually, as sad as it was very interesting. And that a woman got ambushed by a cougar. And cougar, I forget exactly where it was, but it was the first cougar, it was the first death by cougar in like 25 years in that state, or something around there. And it was, I don't know, when like an animal attack is involved, it really holds my attention. I don't know, I find it fascinating that, you know, a cougar would take down this woman, and that these cops would be, they're able to kind of follow the tracks and figure out exactly what happened, where everybody was placed. And I don't know, very unfortunate woman. She was also just seemed like a really sweet, intelligent lady as well. She had a few jobs and was a teacher, and I think, maybe I'm mistaken about that. Anyway, on that note, guys, I'll see you later, okay? See you tomorrow. Take care, okay? Thank you. There was another story about a young child left outside of Lolo Hot Springs in Montana in grizzly country, of a nerve-wracking story. Jeez, man. Yeah, when children are involved, I have a hard time watching, honestly. Good luck, chat and host. Thank you. Thank you, Jack. I do have friends. You don't know anything about me, Will Smoot. Why don't you get a life? What are you doing here? I like your earrings and glasses. Thank you. Anyway. Thanks, guys. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for being my new moderators, Chris Max and Tony. And I will see you guys later, okay? Thank you, Finesse. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Miguel. If you're still here. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Carmine. Thank you, the real Amber Buyers. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Chris Max. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Joshua. Joshua Studdard, if you're still here, thank you. And I will talk to you guys later. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow, okay? I know, I always have a hard time saying goodbye. Oh, thank you very much, Electro Starfan. The close... Oh, I'm sorry, man. This isn't OnlyFans. Anywho. But thank you for the donation. Take care. Bye.